What is up, buds? Welcome to WeeDnD, the pot positive live tabletop role-playing experience. I am your dungeon master for the night, Brandon Allen McClanahan, but my buds call me Bam. Holy crap, dudes, we got higher last week. The helping committee, the helping committee works. The THC doesn't work. The helping committee is now level 3. And you'll see some of that played out in the narrative as we move forward here. But yes, we had a chance to bring our amazing 5 helpers of the helping committee up to level 3 last week. Thanks for those of you that hung out. We did have a freaking really good time. I even got messages from people that were like, it was super fun, like hanging out, leveling with you guys. Some of the newer buds haven't seen that. You know, they weren't with us last time when we used to do those. And we hadn't done that kind of getting higher this season. The last one, we just went right back into the game. So it was fun. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us, man. It's such a great opportunity to kind of get a hang and talk about the behind the screens. If you didn't get a chance to hang with us last Tuesday, the Getting Higher is over on our YouTube, youtube.com/ArtHeartStudios. The entire season 0, the story of the Ferocious 5, 72 sessions of some pretty amazing Dungeons & Dragons, if I say so myself, is on there. The entirety of season 1, our Ganjaria season right now that we're playing through, we're up to Sesh 11, I believe now. Is on there, as well as art and time lapses. There's some map making stuff on there that I did. There's all kinds of stuff. So check it out. If you're not following us, you're not subscribed over there, definitely hit us with a subscribe. It really helps us out. We're at about 600 and something. We need to get to 1,000 before we can even look at monetizing on YouTube. So, if you're not subscribed to us, help us out. Throw us up. Show a little love to the videos, and we really appreciate everything, all 600 of you that have done so, and support the videos, the content. So thank you guys so much. We did have a blast last week, but what sucks about those kind of games is we don't get to play that much D&D. So I'm very pumped to fucking just meet up with my 5 favorite human beings in the world, play my favorite game in the world, in my favorite state of mind in the world. So, we use this beautiful cannabis to help us with our immersion. It's easy to let go of the real world and dive into our little fantasy realm. And that's something we try to highlight with this show. We try not to let the cannabis be too overpowering in the show, because we're just trying to show you, like, you can just be yourself and do the things that you do and have fun and enjoy your friends and enjoy gaming. And it doesn't have to be this, kind of strange thing that exists, this concept of what it means to smoke weed or do, it's like, we just want to be like, hey, we're normal people. All these people are successful. They're all entertainers and of notoriety here around Vegas, and they're all just amazing people. And we all, have this little thing in common that helps us fucking merged. That little, whatever that sound was. We do that thanks to this. So that is, one of the great joys of this thing. We get to play games with people we love, meeting amazing buds, other creators that we've been blessed to know, the Dorktales crew, Blackwater D&D crew, Careful Cantrip, like all these new friends of the show, Grouch Couch. I don't want to just sit here and name them all. Level 1 Geek, I'm doing it now. But honestly, like, that's the other side of this whole egg, is just how amazingly supportive the D&D creative community is, and how pretty much across the board, every single person that we meet is just absolutely delightful. So we hope you guys had a good 4th of July. We hope you didn't blow any of your digits off with any fireworks, or blow up anybody else's digits, or any well, good old 8 fingers Drew. But yeah, so, and also we had us a birthday this past weekend. Our man Drew Yonemori. So we'll get to that here when we bring the whole crew in. But I just wanted to say, we hope you had a great holiday. We hope everybody's doing okay and surviving in this strange world that changes by the day, and sometimes it's terrifying. And moments like these are great because you get to just be with people you love, and that's really the most important thing. So speaking of people I love, I got to pass this joint through the magical fibers of the interweb to my dear and wonderful friend, Brenna Folger. Hey, Brenna. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing great, ma'am. I'm doing pretty damn good. Brenna Folger here. You guys know me as a Pickles on Weed. C'est bon. And I know that it was Drew's birthday, so I was thinking about one of my favorite Drew moments. And one of my favorite Drew moments was when he dropped motherfucking dwarfenage on us, like out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. I was just living my life, a sea elf on land, and this motherfucker is like in the middle of whatever and just drops the word dwarfenage. And I think I remember, like, when I'm watching the old episodes, everyone going like, wait, what? It like rippled through all of us. Like, we were like, ah, ah! It was so funny.
Spiritual successor to the glorpinage.
Glorpinage, yes, of course. So I just wanted to drop one of my favorite Drew moments. Abby, do you have a favorite Drew moment for his birthday?
Oh, how excellent. Oh, thank you. Oh, there's so many amazing Drewby moments, you know? Shall I mean, I could be cruel and pick the time that Tina wasn't so kind to Thoricus, because that sticks out in my head, but that's not my favorite. That's not my favorite. That would be mean. No, just all the times that Thoricus tanked it up and saved us, basically. Like, really, he was the foundation of the 5, and like we could not have gotten through so much of the sticky situations that we did without him. So that's one of my fave Drewby moments. I'm Abby D&D, but you might also know me as Amaryllis VonCheux, the now level 3 tiefling sorceress. You know, I'm just thinking about all these Drewby moments. You got anything about yourself, Drewby?
Oh, me? Do I have any favorite moments about myself? Not really.
Not one.
What up, y'all? Drew. I know. No one thought it was possible. Somehow I got older, though. Yeah, another year older.
Somehow you got older and Abby got a year younger.
Right. And got a better haircut.
I'm like 16 now. It's fine.
And she has better glasses than I do. What the fuck? Come on. She just one-upping me all the time. Anyway.
Happy birthday, Abby.
My favorite me moment. God, that's so tough for me. I don't dig on myself very much. So I would have to say probably keeping the dragon dung a secret for as long as I did, and then feeding it to Brian. That was that's where it was at for me. That was a tough one. I hated lying to all you guys for so long,
including the dungeon master.
Anyway, I played Digbag Moleeggington the 3rd. I'm an artillerist now, level trace. Gonna be dropping bombs. It's gonna be epic. Anyway, thank you guys for the birthday love. You guys are the best people on Earth, and one of the other best people on Earth, best friend. This one's coming to you.
Ooh, always makes it. Always makes it. Damn. Thank you, best friend. And it's funny you mentioned that, because, show-wise, one of my moments is when you and I got our sending stones and had to attune to them as Rial and Thoricus. And I don't know how long we went, Bam. Like, that at least lasted like half an hour, 45 minutes. We were just, it was wonderful.
So good.
And I'm glad that Jake Taylor, was able to experience that moment. And I'm glad that we all get to experience more moments together. This time as Gary Greenheart, level 3 paladin, also a stout halfling. And I wanted to share one more Drew moment, because it's a special day. Mm-hmm. It's the first time I met Drew on stage. We did Oregon Trail, the play.
It was great, by the way.
Drew is the little baby son with his little cowboy boots and his little cowboy hat. And there's a part where he just throws this tantrum. And it's immaculate. If there's some way we can find it and share it, we have to, because damn boy, that tantrum and the smoke can post, and there's just a lot of great Drew moments in that I had to share. But anyway, I want to hold this up because I'm excited to play. Whew. Hey Gus, what's your favorite Drew moment?
Oh shit! Thank you very much, Jake. That's right. I am your boy Gus, Two Blunts Langley, playing the resident clown boy cleric Dickens Tangleface. Man, so my favorite Abby moment is probably no, you know what? I can't pick a moment. It's more like a feeling that Drew gives me. Not a lot of people just make me feel like safe and comfortable. And Drew has always done that for me, which I think is really cool, especially for someone who's as secretly as insecure as I am. So I just wanted to say that I love you, man, and I'm glad that you're here. I'm happy your parents let us borrow you for a little while. So that was old business, new business. I want to plug something for myself also. I just wrapped shooting season 2 of Heels. So if you like wrestling shows, when that comes out, watch it. You might see a familiar face. And speaking of wrestling, if you're going to be in Atlanta on August 14th, there's a district wrestling show, and you also might see a familiar face. So, woo! What am I doing talking about myself? Let's play D&D. Bam, you're up, bro.
Yeah! Oh, gosh, the internet is a beautiful, beautiful place. Shoot, man, thinking about my favorite Drew moments hard, because I've got two. Like, some of those came from games, some of those came from life, so I'm just going to do both, because I'm the DM and you have to listen to me. The first one comes from the game. One of my favorite Thoricus moments, Drew Thoricus moments, was very near the end of our campaign when his longtime love interest and him had this very like beautiful little romantic kiss on the beach before he like went off to his war. I say it mostly because like Drew and I come from a little bit more of an old school style D&D, like as much focus on narrative and character. Like that wasn't really the main play style of previous editions of D&D. It was there, but it was far more focused on the combat intricacies and stuff like that. And so to see Drew in that moment and then to deliver it in the way that he did, like with a hesitance that led to this beautiful moment where there was like a little kiss and then we faded away and then they set off sail to go resolve the end of the campaign. Like those moments, obviously there's tons of badass ones, you jumping out and cutting people in half, throwing your double-sided axe and it's spinning around battlefields and stuff. But my favorite Drew memory, Drew and I have been friends for a very long time. And I can't even tell you what day or what event this was, but it was probably about 3:30 in the morning. We had been haggard drunk throughout the entire night, and we're just like sitting, leaning on a car. And it kind of dawned on both of us at the exact same time, like how long we had been friends. And we just fucking like looked over and it was like, dude, I fucking love you, man. And it was like, I love you too, man. And it was just like, we had one of those bro hugs that's just like, fucking A, dude. Like, damn, how much, it's crazy how time just works like that. Like, Drew and I have been friends for over a decade now, you know what I mean? And I had the pleasure of directing him. The first show I ever directed was called The Insect Play, and he was fucking amazing. And it's knowing Drew is a gift. And he does love to shit on himself, but I think it's great. You can tell everybody that knows him loves him, and to meet him is to be impressed by him, and he's just a hell of a human being. So happy birthday, fucking Drew. Again, belated whatever, but happy birthday. We fucking love you, man. It has been such a gift to have you, and I love all of you. Obviously, it's Drew's birthday, so calm down. It's Drew's time. Drew, I love you specifically. Thanks for everything that you do, man. We love you to pieces. So. One of my favorite things about Drew, though, is playing D&D with him. And in order to do that, we got us a little ritual we like to do around here. Maybe you've heard about it, maybe you haven't, but we like to take a lighter, like this Pisces one. I switched over, and I am a Pisces, if you were wondering. A February Pisces, not one of those weird March Pisces. Make sure you're not going to light any of your friends, family, or household pets on fire and go. Lighters up. What do you say? We play some Weed&d. WeeDnD, high fantasy, literally for you and me. So load up bowl and make a roll to take control. WeeDnD. Ooh. I love you, Drew. I'm just going to say it one more time. I fucking love you, bro. All right, guys. Ooh. If you will please allow me to set the Drew. Yeah, I did that. When last we left the helping committee, they stood in the room of serenade within the mysterious Nade Manor. With the pressing arrival of suitors and suitresses from all around Sativon seeking Sarah's hand, there was little time to counteract the 75 years of age that had racked the body of the young fey-blooded child, and so they concocted a plan to prevent the marring of the Nade reputation. Amaryllis disguised herself as Sarah. Gary stood watch as a diligent bodyguard. Digby salvaged a fine steak from the corpse of the slain Meanlock. Pickles prepared a string of probing questions, and Dickens performed the role of host of the dating waiting game that would unfold. As representatives from the many paths of Sativon arrived, only 4 were granted audience to the chambers within and given the chance to prove themselves worthy to stand by Sarah's side. The 3 men present presented their case and gifts which did little to impress the judging panel. But it was Vivica Sea Fox, the half-elf sea captain, who stood apart from the rest, and with great bravado strode directly to the young woman trapped in the old woman's body and kissed her firmly. With that matter resolved, the lingering concern of the Godseed once more creeps into their weary minds. I nailed that ending there. All right, guys, we jump back in. You guys are standing in the room of Serenade. Some hours have passed since we last left, as Vivica Sea Fox planted a salty kiss on the lips of the aged Serenade. In the hours that have passed in this time, Vivica kind of declared her intentions to the group that she would guarantee the safety of Sarah, especially in her withered form, travel to the festival. Again, that was kind of the whole point. She was looking to hold her hand at the festival, link their names, the family of East and West, and let Sativon know of their togetherness. But if you'll recall, she had mentioned that there were sea hags that she had dealt with that have the same withered appearance that Sarah now has, and she has offered to send for the ones, if you'll recall, she said she owned some. So she's sending for some of these sea hags to be brought to the festival, and as well as the medicine person sent by Ponce de Philippe, our wood elf friend, who's going to send some medicine people to kind of help with the what to do to counteract this magic, this strange transformation that has happened to her body. So Vivica has basically said that she's going to get her ships ready. She came here by ship up the rivers, following even the Soul Stream itself to get here. And so she's going to make a nice, beautiful bedroom that Sarah can go into without being seen by people. And she's going to keep up the masquerade that nothing is really going on. And you guys can kind of resolve that issue at the festival. She says she'll meet you guys there. Now, because I am jumping a few hours in time, I just wanted to jump in real quick. Was there anything any of you needed from Vivica Sea Fox or Sarah before they kind of start going off toward their journey to the festival? Remember, in Sativon, it's bustling outside now that the morning sun has broke. You hear caravans coming from far and wide to load the great foodstuffs that will come to the festival to be divvied out to the many nations of the world that have come to this once-a-year celebration where the black iron gates of Sativon open and allow admittance to the other kingdoms from around Ganjaria. So just before, again, because we are moving a bit of time, I just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything that needed to be resolved with those 2 particular characters.
I think that they, even though Sarah has been aged and blah, 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 I think they look great together, and I'm very happy for them. And I would like to, I walk up to them and I reach down, I'm like, hey, hold on. And I reach down into my pants.
Don't like him. He does this all the time.
And I pull out the vial of that dragon water that I have.
Yeah, yeah.
So pretty. And I'm like, I'm probably gonna need this, but congratulations, I'm happy for you. I love you.
Hey, that's
and I
great.
Just, give it to him as a gift.
So you guys know that water brings with it protection. We were granted the protection of the Ruby Maiden in the form of an aid spell that was cast on you. And so the spell aid would also be applied to Sarah Nade. Rhymes, just see what just happened. Oh my God. All right. So, yes. So actually, Dickens, take an inspiration point. Because if you're, the goal of you guys is to get her to this destination, sacrificing your own protection to afford it to this new couple is a beautiful thing. I like that a lot. So you notice, you hand it. At first, you're handing it to Vivica Sea Fox. She's just standing closest to her. You see her in her striking kind of bluish white skin, her long dark hair that hangs down, always kind of appears a little bit wet, so it hangs straight down. Again, she has this tremendous bravado, big sea captain boots. Every time you look at her, she's spinning a dagger or picking her teeth with this little stiletto knife that she keeps hidden in her boot. She's just a fucking badass. And you see as you offer it to her, she's like, holds out the blade. You set it on the blade, and then she just hands it immediately over to Sarah. If anything, kind of proving that you guys may have choose the right person. This captain is not greedy, and in fact seems very dedicated to like the care of this young woman who is now trapped in an old woman's body. Pickles, this kind of illuminates to you as well. You see the shine of something in Sarah's eyes that as a child you may never, you wouldn't really notice, but like she is actually a young woman now. And Pickles, even you kind of pick up that like Sarah's like enamored with this swarthy sea captain. There's an excitement to her life, and even the idea of unfrozen water, and her life is on this sea. Like, you guys have never been to the sea before, and so it's just like she's this total opposite in most ways of what Sarah was, and yet through those differences, there's a clear fire that is more than just trying to keep the family strong and the identities. You actually see that like Sarah is like quickly becoming quite enamored with this Vivica Sea Fox, and who could blame her? Because I'm already in love with her, and I've known her for like a week.
Come on, damn, she's got that VDE.
Yeah.
So yeah, Pickles definitely takes all this in and does a little hop, skip, and a jump, and lands on the same blade when she's handing it over. Like switches out, and then gives Sarah just a little smooch on the forehead, a little smoochy smooch, and then just a little pet, and then just does like a look at the gif of the dude like standing up and then doing the nod with like the blonde hair. Pickles does that kind of nod to Vivica, to Sea Fox, just real quick. Does that like?
Yeah, you see Vivica kind of just like, like gives you one back. Like you feel it's like she's so connected, like the life, you feel like there's almost a bubble of energy around this woman. And so she's so in the moment, she's so in the instant that it's reading her is very easy. There's no tricks to what she is. She presents herself fully. And you see such a massive respect for you as a being and like your role in this family. It's like there's like an equal, like, what a cool little fucking thing that guy is, and she looks down at you, and you see Sarah.
Like, what a cool fucking thing. Like, I'm glad we both feel like game respects game. We're like, you're fucking weird and cool. And that's, I'm here for that.
Game.
Cool. And then they just hop kind of over by Alyssa, like just to be there.
Awesome. So yeah, you kind of stand, you guys, Sarah is, I'm sorry, I have her on the bed here, but she's actually standing now. And Vivica basically is like, I'm going to go prepare my ships. If you have any need of me, she actually gives you, it's not the Rocky Talkies, but it is 2 sending stone, or 1. She's keeping the other one. So if anything were to happen and something happened to Sarah, or if she needed you, or vice versa, she says, if you need to call upon my aid, she hands you one side. It's this little stone, and it's almost like the Easter Island statues. It's got the big nose and the indented eyes with the little tiny mouth. But she says, read the incantation on the bottom of this rock 1 time. It only works once. So you can send a message, and then the person you send it to can send one back. That can happen twice. 1 from this stone, 1 from this stone. So you have 2 opportunities to check it, or maybe they will reach out to you depending on what is occurring. So, but you see, that's one of the last things before Vivica leaves. She's like, fear not, for you can always speak to me if you need. Here, read the inscription on the bottom. I shall provide Sarah with the finest, the softest ride that she could imagine, and we will be in a tent made of the finest azure silks that you have ever seen. And so basically, she's like the people of Haight, which is Haight, like Haight and Ashbury in San Francisco, but Haight, the people, the seamen of Haight, that's the actual term. Will have their own section at the festival, which is pretty common. Like you'll have the Humble Patch area, and then you'll have the Ashbury people, and so that's where she tells you that you can find them. But she assures you that Sarah will be safe, and that that her life would end before she allowed anything to happen to Sarah. And so she looks around, and says her farewells. Anybody have anything to Vivica? You see she got she just walks with such confidence. As Sarah lingers behind just to say one final, she looks at you all. I thank you for all you have done for me. oh, Pickles, she starts to bend down, but her old knees are a little weak, it's like, it's actually hard for her to do so. And so she just kind of stops and stands there and looks down at you. A nice comforting thing, Pickles, you notice there's a similar look of love in her eyes when she looks at you still. So even though your relationship has been changing, she's still Sarah, and she still, has needed you and loves, you and what you've done for her, especially in this moment now. And she looks at you all. She looks at Amaryllis and Dickens and Gary and Digby, before Digby runs back to whatever he's been working on in the kitchen. Which you do smell a delicious aroma, coming from the kitchen as Digby's been running in and out. You see, she looks around at all of you. She says, there is no way that I could possibly repay you. Thank you for all you've done. And she just kind of looks around. She takes that 1,000 gold piece diamond, okay? But in turn, turns around, because remember, it was kind of for the family. In turn, she does turn around to you all and say that you are welcome to what gifts she has. And as she moves away, she reveals that chest sitting at the foot of her bed. So it's like, you are welcome to what bounties lie in this treasure box. I wish you all the finest, and she'll see you at the festival. She looks at you, Pickles, and she says, thank you for guarding me once again, my old friend. And that gives you a little pat on the top of the head.
Of course. Be safe, and, this will not be a goodbye. We'll see you very soon.
Like the morning after a long sleep, my friend. And pats you once more. She looks around at you all and she says, she's like, I've spent all my life in the humble patch. To see such brave souls stepping out against the ways, it is inspiring. If my youth is ever restored, and she looks right at you, Amaryllis, I hope to be as strong as you one day. You can keep the dress. So she's offering you to keep the dress that you had used when you on your disguise.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. And that strength is already within you. You've shown so much already.
You see, she's taken aback by the words and looks around, and even she can't help but reflect. Strength often comes in the strangest of places. She looks at the Cuddleforge monk friend of hers, the tiefling sorceress, the stout halfling paladin, the clown-kin cleric, and as Digby, his big dumps barely fit through the door as he comes in through the door, this mole folk artificer, she's just kind of taken aback, this group, what a strange assembly of souls, and the power that has been shown from within them. She bids you all adieu as she sets off with Vivica Seafox to head toward the festival down the Soul Stream toward the south part of town where the black iron gates lie ready to be opened. You see Alyssa standing there. She says, there will be much for me to prepare. I cannot thank you all enough. My family, we would have been in dire straits were this to get out. You don't need any suspicion. You see, she looks around at the, cold Gothic stones of this strange mansion that sits on the outside of town, and kind of a cold chill, flows through as you're all kind of a little more familiar of this strange nature, this fey blood within this woman. And, again, the idea that nobody in town really remembers when this mansion got here, and that Alyssa is on the Council of the Five. She's a very strong member of this humble patch society. It all just kind of, that strangeness floats through the air. Alyssa, it says, welcomes you all, and she looks at you, Pickles, and she says, Pickles, perhaps it is time I shared something with you. And she kind of looks to you guys for a moment, looks at Amaryllis and Dickens and Gary, and then she looks over at you, Digby, as you're standing in the room. And there's remember that look in her eye when she was trying to figure everything out, that long kind of gaze as you see the startling intellect of this woman connects with the intellect within you. And she goes, perhaps you too as well, Digby. And so she walks over and she puts her hands on Pickles' little head and the back shoulder of Digby. And as she does, You see this burning green fire erupt out of the eyes of Gary Greenheart. This jet, like a foot-long green fire, similar to the ever-burning flame of the green fire, the green torch that he has, starts jetting out of his eyes. He opens his mouth to scream for a moment, and green fire starts billowing from his mouth. Suddenly, all the fire stops, and the light in Gary's eyes clicks off. His body falls to the ground. We shift into the mind of Gary Greenheart. You start feeling this like strange wind blowing against your face. Strange abstract shapes and colors start filling your eyes. You've been in this place before. It's got a familiar instinct, jetting stripes of purple and pink. No distinguishing features or anything, but the sense of familiarity fills your chest. And you see this green dot of light on the horizon, kind of calling to you across this void, drawing you from your body into this spiritual place. And suddenly you remember this is the beginning of your dream. The dream that called you to purpose, the dream of the green fire of Ashbury sitting atop this large ivory tower, this large torch handle that sticks out, and this burning green flame that lights across the fields of the middle part of Sativan. Suddenly your body starts floating toward it. You see it getting larger on the horizon as you kind of cover that great distance. You're kind of floating in the air. You look up the perfectly carved structure, a feat of craftsmanship, the castle of the Green Lady that sits dead in the center of the town of Ashbury. And as you look up this tower, you see the burning green flame. Now in your nightmare, Gary, this strong shadow came and would rip the fire away, leaving a dormant torch handle. But in this moment, instead, the green fire begins to grow even brighter. And you see the green outline of a small halfling woman starts stepping out of the green fire. Her hair is a long twist of vines and roses. Her body shines golden, like a light you can barely look at, but it's just pious and beautiful. You feel the pouring output of love, and it is indeed the Green Lady. And from her lips, you hear,
My child of the green fire, you have proven ready to serve in the name of the light. Darkness approaches. Will you stand as guardian of the green fire? Will you swear the oath of the ancients and become my steadfast warrior?
oh! Yes, Gary. Stricken back by the voice of a god, it echoes through your whole body. You feel the warm embrace of hearth and home, the good feeling of the Green Lady that has come to you. And as you sign the religious symbol, it's so hard to even speak. You hear coming back.
Hear then the tenets of the Green Lady. Kindle the light through your acts of mercy, kindness, and forgiveness. Kindle the light of hope in the world, beating back despair. Shelter the light. Where there is good, beauty, love, and laughter in the world, stand against that wickedness that would swallow it. Where life flourishes, stand against the forces that would render it barren. Preserve your own light. Delight in song and laughter, in beauty and art. If you allow the light to die in your own heart, you can't preserve it in the world. And finally, be the light. Be a glorious beacon for all who live in despair. Let the light of your joy and courage shine forth in all your deeds.
You feel the soft wind blow against your body, Gary, as this instilling light of virtue fills your body. You have been sworn to your oath. Do you accept it?
Would be my honor.
You see the magical energy beams through from this golden body into yours, Gary. And you feel the strength of virtue as the blood of the ancients flows through your body. In this moment, the burgeoning light that you are now the guardian of, calls into your core as you become one of the Green Knights of the Green Lady. Tina stands there floating in the sky above you. Gary Greenheart in the field below. What do you do?
Well, sorry, I'm a little awestruck right now.
Welcome, my child.
It's real great to finally meet you. I mean, oh boy. Oh.
Well, you've got a great amount of work ahead of you, but your fire is strong.
I'll hop right to it.
Gary, in the moment, the green ever-burning torch kind of summons in the dream behind you, waiting for you to take it, calling you back to your destiny, your adventure, but you have this lingering moment here before the Green Lady herself.
Thank you from everything in my being. Thank you for this visit and for these gifts.
I thank you for your humble service, and I'd like to take out one of the roses intertwined in my hair and bestow it to young Greenheart.
Oh my god. Gary's totally fangirling right now. Like, this is, his brain is like fucking scrambled eggs right now. Cause
Yeah, it's if this was the god itself, your head could literally explode. And so she's had to come to you in this kind of avatar state, just as to not destroy your mortal being. And so, you watch as this kind of rose, you see it spinning, similar to the way that Tarvin Tinderberry's flowers do at the spring festival. Perhaps why this happens. You see this spinning rose comes down into your hand, and as you grasp it, Gary, the torch is summoned into your other hand. You see, the juxtaposition of the two beings in front of you, the fire of the torch to light the way, the flower of the lady herself, both the strength and the beauty of what the Green Knights represent. And you watch as both of them dissolve into your body. And you slowly start floating away. You see the Green Lady steps back into the fire. You look back once more at the ivory tower, the burning green fire, and you feel now that this is your true calling, to protect this green flame. And you know that the threat to that green flame is supposed to be coming at this festival. That is what your nightmare and that shadow creature within the Temple of the Ruby Maiden have told you. And so you pretty instantly feel this compelling need to defend the fire. You shoot back, and suddenly, you sit forward. You're on the ground inside Sarah's room. You look around, you see the purple curtains and everything, and the scared faces. For them, it's just been, for you, it's been this time for them just a moment. As soon as Gary's body hits the floor, suddenly you guys see in the middle of his chainmail this flower. And similarly to the way that Tina Smoothhands' shield have these rose petals, rose thorns and flowers, suddenly these flowers and rose thorns start spreading across the chainmail of Gary. And then he sits up and the lights come back on. You're looking around at your hands, you're looking around the room. What do you do?
It was her, guys. You always hear me yammering on about the Green Lady, but I saw her. I saw her, guys.
Sure. I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
Gary, I think you might have a concussion or something.
Pickles, he just had a religious experience.
Well, yeah. Sometimes when you black out, you have a little bit of a religious experience. They say sometimes people see God. I don't see. See? Just saying, maybe.
I'm happy for you, Gary. I'm really happy for you.
Yes, very nice.
Thanks, guys. I mean, I always had my purpose, but Pete's sake, that really cemented it.
If you really saw the Green Lady, what color was she?
Funny enough, Gold. Gold.
What?
A shiny gold beacon, but the green flame was there.
I don't know why, man, but I believe him.
I believe it too.
You see Alyssa chimes in as she actually she starts. It's again kind of like you don't understand why she's kind of forcing you a little bit. You feel Digby and Pickles. You both feel kind of a push on your shoulders, and she says, "Yes, it is time for all of you to cross that next threshold." She kind of looks at Amaryllis and Dickens, the two pure magic users, and she's like, "You have already found your calling. It seems your friend," and she looks over to Gary, has now found his. She looks down at the two of you and she says, "Perhaps we should go to the study." And she starts walking Pickles and Digby out. Digby, you've got Arco in the kitchen, making sure nothing gets burnt as your feast is continuing to cook. And so you see Alyssa wants to take you guys to the library. If that's obviously you have character, you can do whatever you want. But she's wanting to take you guys to the library.
Absolutely. Yes.
I mean, why not? I guess we are, you say, late bloomers. Let us go to the library. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
All right, so Digby, you start going down the hallway, and Alyssa's talking to you, Pickles, and she's like, "I perhaps have kept this from you for too long. We were scared, Pickles. We did not know how long my sister could be contained. We feared dark forces potentially harming Sarah, stopping her from reaching her true potential." She kind of looks at you, Digby. "And I notice you've been quite curious about the schematics and designs that you have found around my manor. I think I have a gift for you both." She takes you down the kind of gothic hallways, stark, tall windows, jetting shadows as the morning sun starts to spill through. One of absolutely the longest night of your life is now ending its time, as you, the fatigue of a day's full of adventures, even with the bounty of the lady that gave you strength, kind of weighing upon you as your bodies are a little bit, even you, Pickles, in quite, little person, even your shoulders kind of hang a little bit extra, just as the fatigue sets in. I'm not going to give you guys an exhaustion point because I fucking hate that mechanic, but, that's the idea. You guys are starting to reach a point of exhaustion. And so, she takes a turn and opens these little double doors, and you see the named library. It's like a horror movie a library. There's like spider webs all over the place, and it looks like nobody has touched these books in quite some time. And there's just one.
Everything is for nerds.
She's like, but you are in here, Pickles. No! And your monk tradition becomes way of the nerd. No. So you do see there's like a footpath in the dirt that goes to this one area. And it's like you see just a bunch of like children's books and it looks like to be the books that Pickles you would have noticed. These are the books that Sarah read growing up, and you see there's some books on proper etiquette and things like that, trying to teach her how to be a lady. And you hated it when she had to read because then you guys couldn't hang out and go throw make mud pies and throw stones and catch fish, and so it's just like. So it's this path in the library of the books that you've seen. Now, a greater 90% of this place is just, there's like dirt of like an inch thick. There's almost like a coating of this ash-like dirt all over the place and these spider webs. And Alyssa looks at you and she says, "This is the library of my late husband." And she doesn't really ever talk about Sarah's father. And, the fear that perhaps some of these nightmares that Sarah has stem from whoever this man was, it sends a little chill down your spine, Pickles. And she says, "But sometimes the intelligence needed." She walks over and she starts stepping through the dirt to this other area, some spider webs, this old purple chair, withered, eaten, like worm eaten with time. It's like this room has aged like 1,000 years almost, and been untouched except for this one area. And she steps through and her feet leave little impressions in the dirt on the floor. And she reaches through just this little web of spiders and pulls out this purple book. She, blows on it. This little plume of dust comes off. She looks at it with a sense of reverence. She says, my late husband was an inventor, a designer, a brilliant man. Sometimes I think he loved his inventions more than he loved us. In fact, I know that to be true. A small tear falls from her face and turns into a little mud puddle on the ground as she fights back this wave of feeling, obviously why she doesn't like talking about him, some heavy relationship between the two of them. She walks up to you, Digby. She says, perhaps you can find a goodness in these contraptions that I could not. She hands you the book. Digby, the cover of the book is written in what's your language? Mechanus?
Yes, I believe it is.
Mechanus, I think, right? Sorry, I should know that.
Mechan. That says Mec. You spelled it that way on purpose.
Mechanus?
Yes, it's in Mechanus.
Mechanus.
Yeah, you see the cover of the book is written in Mechanus, and which I guess it is now.
That's exactly how it's spelled, just so everyone knows.
Like a robot.
Yeah. A certain type of person might read that as Mechanus, but we're not those kind of people, friend. But the cover of the book says theories and experiments, and then Crowley is the name penned to the bottom. Crowley Nade. So you open the book, Digby, and it's like it's written in this it's like akin to like what Latin and Greek are. It's like you can tell some of these words haven't made it into the modern language that you have learned from these scrolls that you've read. Like there would be a little time as far as like figuring out what some of these inventions are. You see the drawings and the logic kind of flows. You see even like a gun, like but not a pistol like yours, but a long bore. It has a longer edge to it, which would help with stabilization and distance. And you're going through, and suddenly it's like you flip a page, the flash of that little ruby dragon when you got the insight of the ruby maiden in the cave. As each of you, Pickles the spirit, you the insight, you suddenly again, like when you got that blessing the first time, some wires in your brain start to connect, and in a moment you suddenly understand the power of firearms and how this pistol you have, how many augmentations could be made. Perhaps you haven't found the materials that you would need to do so, but that if you could find metals that don't explode, if you could find a perfect kind of wood that wouldn't bend with humidity, if you could treat, it's like suddenly the artillerist mind starts flowing in, and the page that you're looking at is 3 drawings of these little turrets. You see one is spitting a flamethrower out of it. The other one looks like this long mechanical arm that's shooting like an orb of light from it. And the other one has the little green cross of medicine. It's like it's a protective turret. And you understand in this moment your artillerist turret, how exactly you could create it through your magic of avarice, and you suddenly know how to make these turrets appear from nowhere using artifice, and so it's like suddenly your brain is just like buzzing so much that you kind of like aren't really aware of the room around you. We see Pickles suddenly. Alyssa walks over to the bookcase on the wall, and she pulls out a few pages. Instantly, Pickles, these are pages from the book that came with you. They're the size of them, the kind of plasticky paper feel, just the hard paper, not like a parchment, but like thick, like for children. It's small, and it's got these 2 holes punched in it where the ring of the book matches. And she pulls a couple pages that appear to have been ripped. You've noticed many times that there are little perforated edges of some pages that were missing. And I believe it's time, Pickles, that you choose how to deal with this. She hands you the pages, and you see you've known the ending of your book to be, the opportunity that once the defender, once you've defended your child, you get a chance to ascend. And that's kind of where some of this ennui has come from. Not, obviously your last name as well, but that's where some of this emotion comes from, is this idea that it's like, if Sarah's getting ready to move on without you and she's moving on into her new life, like you that ascension, you haven't gained any weird spiritual wisdom of that. If in fact anything, you were faced with the cold, harsh reality of death and what that cold void was that you experienced when you were unconscious, and the horror of seeing blood in your body and bleeding and needing healing. And so it's like, she hands you the pages and it's, you see at the top, it's literally penned, an alternate reality. And you see a bunch of scribbled words in a language of the arcane. It's like sigils and spells, and not symbols that you're familiar with, not a language that you know. I don't know, maybe you don't have deep speech, do you?
Oh, well, wouldn't it just be hilarious? I don't have.
I was like, I didn't think anybody did, but I figured I might as well ask at the end. You're not like, well, I know deep speech. So it's written in deep speech, and so you can't really see what the symbols mean, but it's the pages themselves have a kind of a cold touch to them. There's a shadowy and of that feeling of the void, that thing that you felt when you were unconscious. You kind of connect to, and the ink on these pages, penned in a different ink, a darker color that's like stains the page like blood rather than penning across like a quill. And you see in the middle of this page a monk. You can tell by the fighting stance. It's standing. It's a strange little stuffed crocodile-looking figure. You see it standing on two legs, and it strangely has these weird green dragon wings that sprout out of the back of it. But it appears like a stuffed animal. And you see standing there, in like a horse stance, like deep squat into the knees, and throwing this punch is this strange stuffed, let's call it a dracodile-looking creature that's throwing a punch. And you see this like web of energy drawn around its fist. The spirit of the Ruby Maiden, as well as perhaps a story from long, long ago, beams into your mind. And you instinctively drop the pages, settle into the stance, and you move your hand forward, and you can see that web. The spirit of the Ruby Maiden that blessed you with your ability to harness ki in the first place has now spoken through these pages to you. And you, in this moment, obtain the monastic way of the long death. You see, you look over, Alyssa's looking at you both. Digby, you're kind of come out of your moment of eureka, and Pickles, you see the kind of wave of death, this life-stealing force that you can, boon your body with, this new fighting style. You realize, I could probably deflect arrows now with this. You kind of like, your new abilities all come in a moment as you feel this blessing. And you both look, and Alyssa is actually smiling, looking at you both. Ah, this is where Sativon has it wrong. It is in the progress of the hero that people find their way. It is good that this room stands for something other than cold memories. Well, I believe you should be on your way to adventure then. Eh? And she touches each of your shoulders, and you feel how strange the difference is between the moments before when she had her hands on you and how power now beams through both of you in a new way. And it's like her hands rest softer on your shoulders as you have gained in strength in this moment. But she offers the door of the library to you, unless you guys have, what do you guys want to do?
Well, thank you so much for letting us come in here. If we don't decide to go anywhere, I would love to come back and just go through all of this. I would just need an afternoon.
You see, she looks at the books on the wall. She says, have you seen scars before, Digby? Perhaps you've cut your finger in the restaurant, burned yourself on the stove.
Oh, yeah.
So she looks around. Each of these books is like a scar of my very own. They live not in my body, but in my mind. Best you take, and she kind of references down to the book that you have, the best that this room has to offer you. Let me tell you, the rest you shall find only pain.
I get to keep this.
It is yours.
What? Thank you.
You see your delight, it's contagious. And you see this kind of hard moment that she had, and she once more connects to the smile, the what a soul it is that is, never in her wildest dreams would, the son of Digbag Moleeggington Jr. Be receiving this gift from her late husband that she apparently has a pretty rough history with. So yeah, it's like this moment is not lost on her. And then in a moment, Digby, you smell, oh my God, someone's burning my parsnips. You feel that your parsnips are being burned in the kitchen. My spinach puffs. So
Cool. Yeah, as he runs out of the room, I can just say he does that a lot. Elisa, I'm grateful and thank you so much for all of this. I just I'm not going to black out again as soon as she leaves, right? I just don't know what happens, and
you see she looks at you like it's on the tip of her tongue. And a tear starts to well in her eye. And you see she reaches up and drags the tear from her cheek. She reaches down to the pages on the floor at your feet. And she takes the page where you see this strange, I don't know, I guess Dracodile's a fitting word for what this little stuffed creature looks like. Throwing the punch. And as she wipes her tear across the page, you see her body shakes a little bit. As if she's like casting magic. And you see the words on the pages transcribed. She says, I do not know, Pickles. Here. And she hands this to you, and under alternate ending, you read the words, Dark End. Till the day we ascend our most cherished prize. On that day we become the very thing we despise. Reborn to this world and ripped from the light, we return in misery, becoming creatures of fright. For we Cuddleforge stand, we shall not fall, till slayed by our own kind, unknown to all.
yeah, so you don't know what that means either, I guess.
She looks down. I suppose either you become a beam of light or an agent of shadow.
Yeah, that is exactly what that sounds like.
I would be wary of other Cuddleforged were you to encounter them. Surely if they know of this legacy as well, they may be compelled to harm you.
Thank you, I will look out for that. I mean, I guess that there's a very good reason why I have never met anyone else like me.
You see, she's suddenly like, again, it's like, she's always holding back. She gives this one to you. She's like, I once went to the city of Ashbury. And she looks down at the page. And I saw a Cuddleforged, just like you. And then she taps the page at the little punch-throwing Dracodile. I saw that exact one in Ashbury. They are out there, Pickles. I do not want to see any harm come to you. But perhaps it is your time to choose. Why have two endings if it is not your strength, your spirit, that will make the final decision in the end?
You're right. You know, for so long I had made my life about others. Because I had to. That is all I knew. And so I felt like I was twisting in the wind when I did not have someone to protect.
Jesus.
I don't know, maybe it is time to go in a different direction.
It seems the direction is calling to you already, and to your allies. She kind of stands up and, gestures down the hall. Perhaps she's aware of this. You have a new protector, a protectoral instinct that seems to have, flourished with this new group of souls.
Oh shit, I can make my friends, I can do that. Oh, you are so right. I can protect. Listen. Sometimes the answer is in front of you the entire time. Alyssa, you're a good kid, Alyssa. I like you a lot. You're just a delight. You've turned out to be a really wonderful young woman. I am sorry for all the terrible things that has happened to you.
She's like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of shit and you're so high and stoic. Yeah. You're like Gillian Anderson. Do you know who that is? Anyways,
but Cedric, fuck him, right?
Yeah, fuck Cedric. You're right. You know what? I'm going to follow this instinct, and I'm going to protect my new friends in the process.
There it is. All right, so we're going. You kind of start walking down the hallway. Dickens and Amaryllis. You guys are standing in the room of Serenade, and Dickens, you're never. It doesn't take long for you to hear things like reward and take what you want. That little treasure box that's sitting over there by Sarah's room. It's like, well, everybody's gone. You do see it. It's kind of speaking to you. It's like, yeah, Dickens, yes, open me. Come on.
Yeah, it doesn't even occur to me that might not be okay. Boxes are for opening.
And in fact, yeah, you're absolutely right. So I'm going to have you give me a treasure roll, Dickens.
Ooh.
1d100. This is your kind of mean lock reward. This is weird. Okay, I'm going to tell you why this is weird. This is the wrong edition of Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Master's Guide. I was like, wait a minute, great book. This is 3.5. So that's okay. I will.
All right.
Do I have mine? It's my D.
You said a D100?
Yeah, 1d100. No. All right.
The mark of the beast.
I'll just do this.
Nice.
Well, at least 2/3 the mark of the beast.
Execute, dice roll 66. Execute.
All right. So. Nah, it's in the D&G. It's all good. I've got it here.
Well, while Dickens busies himself with that, I look down at my dress and I notice how beautiful it is, but it's not quite my style, so I'd like to tie it into trousers. To make it more work appropriate.
It's not work appropriate, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Never.
To allow for freedom of movement.
All right.
Maybe on casual Fridays, but other than that, not work appropriate.
Yeah, not work appropriate.
Yeah, so again, it's like Sarah's. She does seam work and all kinds of stuff. As you guys augmented the stuff to make your own. I'm sorry. Des, you made
whatever's in there. I'm immediately disappointed that it's not full of snakes.
Dang it. Oh. So here we go. Dickens, roll me. What'd you get? You got a 66?
Yes.
Sweet. Roll me 2d4.
Oh, great.
That's to determine how many snakes there are.
It's full of snakes. Sorry.
Oh.
Huh.
That's 2.
That counts.
I'm gonna
2.
That's a 2. All right, so you get 2. You see, there's 2 little paintings in there. They're both of pickles, and so it's just it's basically the meme that we've all seen, where it's like that kid standing, and then there's a teddy bear standing on the edge of the bed as a nightmare creature is attacking them, and he's standing there with a sword and a shield of dream stuff. It's 2 paintings of that. It's just showcasing the protectoral instinct of a younger. You see Sarah's probably like 6 years old, a young girl, softly sleeping in her dream. It's like a little bit of a portrait of her and a little bit of a portrait of Pickles. But there is 2 of them, and they are each, if you were to sell them, were worth 25 gold. And,
I will leave them there.
Okay. You're like, you go to kind of, you're like, I'll set them back down. And then you notice something else lingering in the bottom of this box. I'm going to need one more 1d100.
Okay.
And then, sorry, I'm just pulling this up because obviously I have it right here. There we go.
I don't have any walls, so I don't really need the paintings.
That's true.
You do have pants, though.
All right, so I don't know why it's doing this. I'm sorry, it's taking me a little bit here to get this going. There we go. Oh, this is stupid. This is so strange the way they have this. Anyway, I've got it here. Nope. And this is the solution. All right, here we go. So, what'd you roll?
58.
58. All right, so that's going to give us... All right, last roll here. Give me a 1d6.
All right. 2 again.
A 2! All right, and I know this is what... There will be 2 more 1d100s. This is random treasure tables, friends. You see as you're kind of like going through the box, Gary's still just kind of staring at his hands like, oh my God, you're looking at your armor, the new emblems emblazoned on it. Amaryllis is kind of like working with a needle and thread, just kind of changing up this outfit. But you look down underneath the paintings that you're not taking, and you see 11 and 35. You see a potion of healing. Hey, that's nice. 2d4 plus 2. Healing potion laying there. And what's the other one? 33?
35.
35. And a potion of healing. So there's 2 of those. 2d4 plus 2 laying there, as well as those 2 pieces of art. That is what was inside the young Serenade's box. Not quite 1,000 gold pieces like the diamond that they took, but a little bit of treasure.
Cool. Yeah, I'm oddly perfectly fine with taking those.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, okay.
These are gonna go bad.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think anybody would be mad that their cleric took some extra healing potions. No, dude. All right, cool. So at this moment, you guys all kind of come back together. You see Digby runs by to get his parsnips. And then you smell the great smell of food, coming down the hallway as Arco starts walking in with some amuse-bouches for you to, get your palate prepared for the various tastes that are to come. The Burrow is quite a fancy restaurant, and Digby is quite a proficient chef. And so working with this strange material, the meanlock meat, you start bringing in this food. Alyssa kind of walks over towards Sarah's bed, begins gathering some personal effects that she'll probably take when she leaves. And kind of leaves you to your own devices as you kind of gather around this globe. In the moment, as you set the food, you see Gary, as you take a plate of this food, the flower on your chest suddenly becomes real for a moment. And you see that golden light pass around to all of the food. And, as some of us might remember, Tennis Smoothhands' meals were legendary for some of their magical abilities. And so, bereft of a god, this meeting of bounty, the very virtue of the Green Lady herself, connecting to very much the core of what Tennis Smoothhands was as a mortal, now, transcending through the powers of the immortal, and sharing itself with this meal as the amazing acumen of Digby, and this well-prepared meal mixes with this bounty of life and the Green Lady herself. And you guys see as all of your meals are imbued. And Pickles, even, you don't take food, but you tend to put it to your mouth. You notice that when you swallow, like little beams of golden happiness go down. So it's like you actually feel the tangible feeling of swallowing as these little light morsels go into your stomach.
Shit's getting real.
So
if it's cool though, like I get really excited about the food, and I still got I named it the border staff. It's my quarterstaff, but it's made from old Greenheart Bortwood, so it's the border staff. But
the Bortwood is known. It's key to any carriage. You have to have a solid board, and the Greenheart Borts are legendary.
Top tier. But I get so excited for the food, I pretty much drop my staff and my shield. And if because I don't want this to be like a game-breaking thing, but just like you like the flavor, you like little like tiny little vines catch it so they don't clatter on the ground.
Ooh.
And just because Pickles is like, oh yeah, okay, you'll go this. Like she doesn't see any of the cool shit that happens.
Yeah, Pickles like, what are they doing? Yeah, that's freaking awesome. I love it. So you guys, in this moment, as this kind of magical feeling starts to imbue you all, I'm going to go back on what I said during the getting higher. And once more, just as the warm waves of magical energy that radiated off of the egg in the tomb of the Crystal Maiden, you see as you eat this food, a share of the company and the laughter and the connection between the five of you, this new adventurous spirit that feels you, Dickens, a stronger connection with your god in this moment. Amaryllis, having been through this confluence of wild magic, starting to understand how to harness it, trying to connect to that power of pure magic when you spoke a truth into the world, and the gaps that, bridge between the you of now and the you that could possess such power. Pickles, this new understanding of potential other cuddle forges, that they do, at least one does exist, this new fighting style, this resonance to the way of the long death, and what this life and your essence and anybody's essence and this dreams and reality really mean in that confluence. Gary, this new calling, this defense of the green fire. And Digby, you're just very stoked that everybody's having such a good time. And you're like, man, I can't wait to build one of those turrets. And, it's just like you see, because, solo wisdom, you're just kind of like, da-da-da-da-da, walking around the room while everybody else is having these kind of profound connections. As bounty, hearth, friendship, and magic all come together in one meal and grant you all a long rest. So you're level 3, you got your long rest, and that's where we're going to pick it up after intermission, guys. So I'm going to give them time to run and pee, but then they got to get back and update all their spell slots and all that stuff. We will be jumping right back in. Holy crap, dudes. I fucking love you guys. That was so fun. And I'm excited to have you all as a group again. So let's do this. We do a 10-minute intermission, guys. Check out all this amazing art. Check out all this amazing music. We have so many gifted artists that give so much to this project. We appreciate and love you all. And look at fucking what it's all come from and for and to. And I love it. I'm surrounded by art and my favorite people. I love it. Play D&D with your friends or people online, whatever you got to do. Play some fucking D&D. We'll be back in 10 minutes to jump back into this level 3 THC. Welcome back, buds, to WeeDnD, the positive live tabletop role-playing experience. We have had us quite a wonderful first half. Thank you for those of you who have been with us along the way. Thanks to those of you who are just joining us now. We did have a little bit of this session's been laden with a few Easter eggs from our former campaign. For those of you that are newer with us, Tina Smoothhands was the character played by Abby Dandy in season 0. Too blessed to be stressed. Smoothest hands in the West. And so we got that little, honestly, I was almost crying, that little opportunity to see her. And then, maybe some of you might be familiar with the character Brian the Dracodile. But this drawing in these pages of this book, given to Pickles, apparently was a drawing of a little stuffed Brian, a little cuddle forged Brian the Dracodile. So, oh man, yeah. If you don't know what any of this stuff means, check out season 0. It is over on our YouTube. Check it out, youtube.com/ArtHeartStudios. You catch the whole season there and watch what will surely bleed into many terrific moments with us. And those were so touching. So I say, guys, we get back to this bad boy. So let's jump back in. You're all kind of standing. I've got you over here in the city proper, but you're all standing still at enjoying the last tidbits of this delicious, inspiring meal, bereft of the blessing from the Green Lady herself. Each bite of the food fills you with the warmth of hearth and home, and you can't help but laugh a little bit at just you're remembering those draconians slapping mayonnaise back together, and just kind of the absurdity of this adventure so far, and your various connections with one another. It's almost like you're eating some infused foods. You get a little giggly, and there's like a nice little moment shared between you all. But we kind of zoom back in on this setting. Let me bring you actually back over to Sarah's room. That's where you are. And you're all gathered around the globe in Sarah's room. What do you do?
I gotta give praise to our boy Digby. Man, that is one mean lock steak. Bravo, friend.
Thank you. I worked very hard on it all night. No, I didn't. It was super easy. This was so simple.
As far as meat goes, Digby, it's like you turn it once, 2 minutes, salt and pepper. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's almost, you don't do anything, and it speaks for itself. It's a nice cut of meat. You didn't know meat locks.
The rarity of the meat, and you just, it's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
At least you didn't burn it though, right?
Well, I had a lot of help from Arco. He's actually a very good cook, and he's very helpful and pleasant, unlike his mask of a brother inside of Dickens's pants earlier. He was not very kind.
Sounds like our boy Arco. He'd fit in real good at the Burrow. Oh crap! The Burrow. Okay. Digby, everybody. When I was on my way over here, so that thing we found?
Yeah.
Did you end up putting it in the Burrow?
Yes.
All right. So on my way over, I saw a group of badgers kind of nosing around the Burrow. So, you think we should...
Okay. Full disclosure. When I did put, I buried the Godseed like you told me to, and then there was like branches and stuff that came out and it had like tentacles on it. I should have told you that a lot sooner.
We had some other stuff come up.
There was other stuff going on, and I forgot.
Is there anything anybody else hasn't said that they probably shouldn't pull us by now?
Just full disclosure, as best friends group of the helping committee.
I just blurred out. I don't know why, but we can't let the Quimfellows get the egg. No eggs. No eggs.
Okay. So what I am hearing here is that we need to go fucking see what happens with these badgers and the egg and...
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
I
Where are the badgers heading?
I just want to interject so that everybody's clear. There's 2 people in the party that are familiar with badgers. Amaryllis VonCheux. Actually, no, Gary, you would too. No, he came in after me. So Amaryllis VonCheux and Digby Moleeggington. Tank Badgerly, this badger-born that that has kind of bullied Digby through most of his life, who stole his invention, his irrigation system designs, and presented them as his own gift at the festival last year. He rolls around with a little pack of actual badgers. They're like his little homies, and they like work with him and stuff, and he talks to them, but nobody can understand what they're saying. Like, they're just badgers. They're not actually speaking anything. But so Tank's a little bit of a weirdo. He's kind of a bully, but everybody loves him because he was granted with one of the greatest gifts last year, which again, Digby, it's like, it was yours. And he got all this notoriety for it. So like most mothers, want him to have their daughters, and create, and link with this lineage. It's such an impressive celebrity status to be presented with one of the finer awards given at the Harvest Festival each year. I'm sorry, the opening festival each year. And Amaryllis, this Tank Badgerly guy, who's a little full of himself, he doesn't just wear one eye patch. He wears two over the same eye. That's how badass he is. He wears these spiked green boots that he calls the boots of butt kicking. And Amaryllis, he has stopped by your establishment, and he's sniffing around. He's picking up what you're putting down, and he's kind of forward and aggressive, and he's a little put offish. It's like he runs around with these stinky badgers all the time, and he's been a little mean. You've seen him be mean to people, and it's like, especially in Sativan, it's like, oh, come on, dude. Like, and so yes, but both of you would know about these little badgers that he goes around with. So. Pickles not so much, having been in the in Nade Manor more often than anything, running around playing Invest with Sarah. And then Dickens, you're new to the Humble Patch, and Gary, like I said, he kind of came into town after you had left to go to Ashbury, so you wouldn't really be familiar. But you two both know what badgers mean.
Digby, we ought to go check on the egg. That sounds like Tank to me.
What? Yes, of course. Well, yes, whatever you would like to do, I'm fine.
We're together this time. I kind of missed you guys, being split up. I don't know if you want to stick
Let's all go
together. We got each other, right?
I love it when we're all together. It's the best.
We're the helping committee after all.
Let's go help the egg with the roots and tentacles growing out of it.
I try and start like the all hands in, and let's see if it works. But just like a helping committee.
All right, let's go.
Committee.
Woo!
All right, here we go.
Okay, we need to work on that, but I like the energy.
It's a start.
The start.
Wait, I'm sorry, I left the room. Are we doing something?
Oh,
You
can't dismiss
the
rehearsal.
ends. This is like a teamwork thing to
I
be.
thought we were going to the Burrow.
Oh, we should. Yeah, we should do that.
Let's do that. Yes, let's do that.
Oh, yes, we are.
can rehearse
Okay.
later.
Let's go. Wait, so we're doing the hand thing? Are we...
Helping committee. Helping
committee.
The help,
helping.
committee, go. Engage. The helping.
Okay, let's go to the Burrow.
Alyssa. Pickles, you see Alyssa Nade is kind of looks over at you. She says, "Go forth. Sarah's in good hands, and we shall see you at the festival, dear friend."
I will see you then. Bonsoir! And then he flips out of the window.
Yeah, I also jump out the window.
You
I'm gonna
guys-
take the door.
I was gonna use the stairs too, so
Yeah.
we'll meet them there.
I've
Clonk,
already
clonk,
gone
clonk,
up and
clonk.
down the stairs 3 times. I'm not coming back upstairs, guys. Just
going
jump
now,
out
I
the window.
So, you guys go down the stairs of the thing. You see Arco's, like, he had tried to eat some of the meat, but his little wooden teeth got stuck in it. So he, like, pulls out the meat and his little teeth are on it. He's like, ah! And he just kind of follows along with you guys. Like, he's like, go where they go. And he's walking along with you as well. We shift you over. So you guys step out the front door of Nade Manor, and you see that Pickles has kind of landed in the mud near the moat, knowledgeable of this house and how to get around. But laying on the ground next to her, flat like a pancake, his Dickens tangle face. He's just like a pool of himself splatted on the ground near the bridge to the moat. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, Pickles is just smoking next to him already.
Looking dope, just like one leg up, just thinking about
So
most
what's
stuff.
going on outside? Now that we've got to hustle and bustle, what the fuck is happening up
All
here?
right, so yeah, it's like the last time you guys were out here, there was the quiet, well, except for those of you that were there with the great brawl. You see all the suitors have kind of skirted off to their various other, they're realizing that they didn't win. They're all trying to get down. Now, I know the map doesn't represent this, but there are actually carriages and carts and wagons galore starting to fill the streets of the city. It's all busy. It's kind of like the beginning of Beauty and the Beast. Like, everybody's bustling and they have something to do. And you see some girl like singing to herself as she walks around a fountain, and everybody seems to hate her for some reason. I don't know, she's like reading books. It's weird. But you ignore her because this isn't Beauty and the Beast. But you notice, the bustle of the city. To the south of you, the Quinfallow Farms. There are many reeds and stuff as everything's been kind of harvested and is loaded onto these carriages that will all be making for the Black Iron Gates for the opening festival soon. You see the old Sam's provisions. He's just surrounded by carts. You can barely see him, but you see his portly old body and his gray beard. He's always having a good laugh. He's just happy to be there. He's like he's a man that can get most things. He's the main provisioner for the town. A little bit of motion to the north of you as you see a couple of the spinning flowers of Tarvin Tinderberry through the window of the Church of the Green Maiden. Everybody's getting ready, loading boxes, carriages, and carts. Far across town. Greenheart Farms is the source of most of this, like I said, about 40% of the world's foodstuffs come from Greenheart Farms. And so it's just carriages for, hundreds of feet as they're loaded on board. Gary, you remember being young and how stern and serious your father gets on a day like today. He knows all eyes are on him and your family working they're working themselves to the bone. So everything's kind of exploding and bustling around. The mayor, Quayne Quillbrook, is bumping around his little area here to the south. But yes, you no longer see, Gary, you had kind of noticed this like white tendril when you were over running by. That is gone. And there is no more, you don't see any badgers in the trees or anything. But yes, you see the Burrow, the building itself is fine. The fears that maybe that whatever was happening had destroyed or damaged it in some way. Digby, you can't help but breathe a sigh of relief. The buildings are all intact. And it is strangely still, as opposed to the hustle and bustle of the rest of the city. Digby, your father, everybody, the mole folk of the Burrow, they work really late hours and then tend to sleep. And so they will probably be getting a bit of a later start. But the signs that none of them are like running around screaming or anything, probably a good sign. So, but that's what you see, the town of Humble Patch before you, a hustle and bustle, an explosion of life, in complete opposition of the dark stillness of the town mere hours ago. You see some of the suitors that had come, are also just like working on the wagons and stuff, pretending to be nobles. Now that they've, haven't gotten Sarah's hand, they got to go back to work. And you just see the loading of all these, different goods and things as everybody prepares to pilgrimage south to the Black Iron Gates. But that's what you see.
Fantastic.
Can we not cross by Greenheart Farms if anyone? Can we avoid that route? Maybe just go past Old Sam's on our way to the Burrow?
Yes, I don't want Scary Bob to meet you in the streets. I heard what happened the last time. It sounded terrible.
He's a softie, but no, you're right. We should just kind of.
Yeah, wise. It's like, especially like you said, with all the pressure of today on his mind. It's like, this is if there's a worse day to run into your old man, you can't think of it. And so you can't help but think about your LJ getting to work on the farm. It's like it's a busy day at Greenheart. So you do have they're not going to be around in the streets or anything. It's like they'll firmly be working today. So that. So yeah, you guys can you can cross through Old Sam's Provisions. You see it's a series of long, you see crossboard A-frames that make up like almost like I was about to say an upside down W, which is just an M. That's upside down W is an M. So this covering of his provisions area, you see just baskets and barrels and coils of rope and all kinds of provisions for farm life. New carriage wheels, supplies of all kinds. He's the main provisioner in town, and even though he's this really old halfling, also big sturdy frame, big old gray beard, gray hair slicked back. He's always got a big smile on his face. His big bulbous nose, kind of bounces around when he laughs, and but he never stops working. Like when he's done it, like he is either working or he's asleep, and so it's just like that's, and so it's like it is no surprise to see him, just gold bag from one guy to another cart, and this guy's loading this thing on top, and he is just in control. He's in his element, and he loves the hustle and bustle of a day like today. As you guys kind of make your way away from Nade Manor. You can interact with him. You can go wherever you like. This is the town in front of you. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'd like to go over and see. I know that on the day of the festival, he can kind of get some special stuff in. So I want to see if he has any special weaponry or anything juicy that might pique my eye.
All right.
I like juice.
I like juice as well.
You walk up and you see him. You know what? Amaryllis, roll me 1d100.
Yay!
So you notice, he's talking, like I said, he's talking to like 6 different people at the same time, but he moves just with the finesse of a man. That 50, nice. You see he's kind of like going back and forth, and each of these carriages and carts clearly come from different points in Sativon. Some bear the strong elvish craftwork of like Ponce de Philippe and the wild elves in the forests, and some of it's more there's a lot of like really exquisite woodworking on them. Some of the finer craftsmen of Ashbury, some of them have fishing nets and spears and stuff hanging out of them, stuff you're not super familiar with, but they seem to hail from Hate. So it's like all these people are they come to Humble Patch, they grab all this bounty, and then they bring it to the festival. And so it's like there's a little bit of everybody all around. I would say, Amaryllis, with a 50, what would you be looking for?
Some sort of pretty looking dagger or sword, maybe with like a gem element on it.
Okay. So you guys see old Sam turns. My friends, it's good to see you. One moment, please. Yes, 50 for the grain, 50 for the yes. This is great. Gosh, look at you all. Look at you. The sun is shining and it's a beautiful morning. And you see he's like so excited. He is old, so he's like, got a little overexcited there. And then he kind of sees you for a second, Gary, and then he like checks over his shoulder. Gary, it's good to see you, boy. And he reaches out and gives you a little, halfling handshake.
Oh yeah, that's how we handshake around here.
Are you back? Have you and your father mended your fences, so to speak?
Back for now. We'll return to that discussion later. So yes and no.
And he looks over you and he's like, the beautiful gem lady herself. Amaryllis, please. He holds his hand out, cup your hand. And he plants a little kiss on it. You feel a tickle of his old white hairs. He just loves you, and you guys are like great friends. He's the one, when you're looking for various gemstones and stuff, he's been able to get them for you. And he's like, yes, one moment. I have something special for you. And he goes, and you see one of like the wood elf carriages. He's like, one more, wait, I changed my mind. You see, goes through his coin, sets it back, and he pulls out this little dagger. And it's of wood elf design, so it looks like it's kind of like this carved wood handle, but the blade is this really sharp, fine metal. It's got kind of a curved blade, a bit like a curved stiletto dagger. You see, fixed in the handle is a small amethyst stone, very like a little 10, maybe 5 gold piece amethyst stone in the handle. And he was like, I thought to myself, I should buy this for you, but once I saw that sun reflecting off your face, I could withhold it from you no longer. And he holds it out. So hands you this sweet little wood elven blade.
Oh, Sam, it's perfect. How much do I owe you?
He says, this is a masterwork blade. So this was a design of Sativon. This is as well, it goes with our Ganjarian spell components. There are master-worked versions of mundane items. And so this dagger is so finely crafted, Amaryllis, that it gives you +1 to attack. It's not magical, so it doesn't cut through. Like if something has magic resistance or can only be hurt fully by magic items, it doesn't count against that. But it is a +1 to attack, not damage, dagger. So I'll help build a macro so that it all just does that when you click on it. But yeah, so it is a masterwork dagger, and he looks at one of the, you've got your little pouch. And he's like, perhaps a gem you no longer need that I could pay this fine driver with.
Oh, perfect. And I've just been collecting them, and when I was rummaging through Cedric's things, it seems like so long ago, but it was just a couple hours ago, I had noticed that he had been harvesting quite a few lovely ones. So I have some rubies that I think he would enjoy.
You see his eyes shine. He's like, yes. And he looks at it for a moment and then passes it on. And then you see someone taps him on the back and he's like, yes, of course. No, it is 3 carriages back. Yes, just one moment. And it's like he's like busy still.
Yeah.
But it's like amazing how good he is. It just kind of, it's like this isn't overwhelming him at all. If anything, he only got too excited because it was such a joy to see so many smiling faces around on this opening day.
Cool. And then while I was tinkering with the dress that I'm wearing, I sort of ripped open the bodice element and turned it into like a holster for my dagger.
Dope. I like it. You've got like a little cloth deck. It sits right in. You can still see the gem though, so it matches your kind of gem motif. And yeah, it's set there in your cloth sheath. And you see Sam. He's like, what a strange-looking fellow. Pleasure to meet you, sir. My name is Sam. Everybody calls me Old Sam. I'm not that old, eh? Oh, yes, no, 4 carriages back. The 2 sacks of grain there, yes. Oh, hello, Aaron, yes. But pleasure to meet you, sir. And he reached out to you, Dickens, to shake your hand.
Yeah, I hold my hand out just like Amaryllis did.
For a moment, he's like, yes, many customs from around the world. Isn't it amazing how many strange and diverse types of people there are? Look at how big you are, and oh, Pickles, haha. And he pats your head, his big, he's got like thick sausage fingers, so you love the way, like, it's just like, yes, they're so heavy on you. It's like, comparatively to the slender fingers of the Dade family. So, but yes, you see old Sam offers a welcome to you as well, Pickles.
Just the bonjour.
All right, so you see, he's like, I apologize, friends. I'm so busy today. It is going to be a wonderful festival. Here. And he reaches back and he finds these 5 little, they're like little bracelets, like made to just kind of slip on your wrist. And it's just like a little sprig of mistletoe that's just set on there. And he's like, the blessing of peace. May the Green Lady, watch over us all on these days. And he hands each of you one, like a hula when you get to Hawaii. Just not a hula, that's the dance.
Lei.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry, I'm dumb. And so it's like, in that moment, he kind of just offers one to each of you guys. As again, he starts like going back to kind of covering it. Anything else you guys want to try to get from him or anything, or are you going to keep going?
No, I think we should get to the egg, right?
I might politely ask him if he knows where Alonzo Quinfallow is.
You see Persephone like, Alonzo, yes, but probably in Quinfallow Farms, they have quite a load to offset. They were blessed by the waters this year for sure. Quite a bounty. Yes, no, 3, just 3. No, Harold, don't take 4. Don't take 4. And he's just like continues on. But yes, he says, Alonzo should be at the Quinfallow Farms.
If I'm looking at the map correctly, it looks like she's at Quinfallow Farms.
Just to be fair, that is Iman. That is at Quinfallow Farms. I know they're pretty similar looking because they're both elves. But yes, that's Iman Quinfallow.
Oh, sorry. I have poor eyesight, you see, because I'm a mole.
On account of being a mole. All right, yeah. So on the other side of the provisions, you see the trees. The outlines were Gary. That's what you saw. That's where you saw the badgers, kind of around these like trees here in between you and Old Sam's provisions. To make haste, kind of cutting through them rather than going around. But yeah, as you kind of start coming up to the burrows, Digby, one thing you do notice is as kind of the crevices and the lower areas kind of carved out. While the structure of the burrow seems intact, some of the service tunnels, in fact, the same one that you used to go down, have collapsed. So there does seem to have been some structural instability to the cave system leading down into the burrow area. But the restaurant itself, the cart that the little where they go down. What's that thing? Get on it. Like a mine
Elevator?
cart. Yeah, like basically an elevator that
Like
takes you
Donkey
into.
Kong?
Yeah, like Donkey.
Yeah.
Oh, those
So,
levels though.
Yeah, right. Those levels. So you, all that seems to be intact. And there, again, it's not like there's no sign of like your family running around worried or anything. So it's like kind of strange. Like it's like, why would something so affect something right there? It's like being at the other side of a rain. Like there's rain here and nothing happening here. The restaurant itself seems to have been saved from any damage.
Yes, but if my family is all dead inside of the tunnels that collapsed, then there's really no point in having a fully functional restaurant now, is there?
It's true. It'd be hard to find employees if your family's dead. I don't know why that's
Sorry.
so much.
Happy belated birthday, your family's
Happy
dead.
birthday. Welcome to 41.
But again, it's like the side, just to assuage your some of your fears. It's like your family's stuff would be on the side that doesn't appear to be damaged. It's just like the service tunnels and kind of the far side where you had the egg buried underneath. That area seems to have been a little screwed up. So,
Got it. Right. Okay, well, as we're passing through the tree line, do we notice anything that the badgers may have dropped? Or
make a perception check.
I absolutely will with my terrible perception.
Or
Again,
you can do a party perception. You're all together, so whoever
Because I'm
remembers
a
the highest
mole,
percent.
you see.
That's right. You're like, I see nothing. And they're like, all right, good.
I just like that you specifically said, "Oh, pickles."
Boom!
I was hoping for it.
Oh, pickles.
Classic pickles.
Classic pickles on weed.
Classic pickles on
Classic
weed.
pickles on weed. Crit hit. All right, so yeah, and so pickles, you spot, you see there's definitely a small path of badger tracks, that lead through this forest path, and then there's like there's like another little cutting through the grass, and Pickles with such a good perception, you spot the prying eyes of a little badger popped up right near one of the small entrances, one of the non-collapsed tunnel entrances on the far side. You see like a badger animal that peeks out, sees you see it, and then runs away into the caves.
Into the caves?
Into the cave.
Then I will follow him.
All right, you.
I want to be sneaky.
All right, yeah. Anybody who wants to go with Pickles, now Pickles is faster. If Pickles chooses to lose you guys, Pickles can. But if you want to go, anybody who's trying to stealth, give me a stealth check. If not, you could kind of hang back and wait for a signal or something.
Crap.
Well,
I'll join you, Pickles.
What?
Amaryllis is like, I got this.
Yeah.
Heavy
Worth
armor.
it.
Oh, with disadvantage, gets a 17 still. All right. So Dickens, the funniest thing, like you have your squeaky shoes, but somehow it's like you squeak right at the right time, and it just matches the other sounds going on, and is masked.
It just sounds like one of the cart wheels.
Yes. And you're perfectly timing it, with your long strides. Gary, it's like, this new armor with its many cool folds and, designs and stuff. It adds a little sound as you kind of move around.
I just sound like a bag of pennies. Just...
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys you run up and you approach this cave entrance, and you kind of peek down, and it doesn't, Digby, you're familiar with this area. This does branch in two directions. If you wanted to go check on your family, you can. That would like be off to one side and go under. The other way would be down like kind of the tunnel system toward the Godseed, where you put it, the warmest point, deepest down. So you do kind of come to like a crossroads as you guys enter the cave. No sign of any badgers. As you look, Pickles, you're kind of like looking down. It bends down into the earth. These tunnel systems are kind of they're they're tilted low so you can bring carts and stuff up and down. So it's like you kind of wind and switch back your way as you go down. So the cave system kind of blocks as you start going down beneath the earth. And that's what you see in front of you, kind of a dark tunnel, no light in there, but the spilling light of the sun spills in. But, eventually you're going to reach some corners where that light is no longer benefiting you. So what do you guys do?
Are we able to do a minecart madness thing at all?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's super cool. I love that a lot. Yeah, you look over and there's like I said, there's these carts that they use to get things up and down. And Dickens, you kind of like see it. Yeah, if you want to try it, I would. Yes, of course.
Sweet. Okay, so I wanted to go investigate one of the carts and do that classic thing where I'm just trying to see how it works, and I bump into the lever, and I'm still digging, trying to figuring it out, as it starts to take off.
Yeah, you guys see the elastics, it's middle section starts stretching a bit as he's I don't know, it starts rolling a little bit, and he's and he's being pulled. He's being pulled away. Yeah, so Dickens is gonna try to minecart this. Are you guys jumping in, or what are you doing?
I'll hop up front with the torch in case it gets dark.
I'm hopping in.
I'm gonna hop on a pair of shoulders, and I want to look back. Hold on, because Digbag, are you going to stay and check on your family?
Yes, I'm going to stay here and check on my family, not go on an awesome adventure with my new best friends.
Yes! Woohoo!
You see, the big dumps of Digby kind of wedge themselves into either side of the cart, just big enough to firmly scoop. Pickles, you land up on top. But at this point, you've gotten pretty used to getting onto Dickens' shoulders and holding his hair. So, it's you just hop up top, Amaryllis, you hop in, you see Digby's kind of pushed up his shoulders and squished against you a little bit. He's and suddenly, Dickens, as soon as you want to let your feet go, you're going to shoot down this thing if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I remove my size 22 shoe off of the brake.
It's kind of wrapped around it like elastic, and then taffy unrolling it, just and you guys whoosh, start. It's not designed for this, and so you guys are kind of bouncing off the walls. You see the green fire of the green lady, kind of shouting lights before you. Digby, you're using your dumps to kind of turn the cart the way that the turns go. So whoever wants to make this dexterity check for the steering of this thing, give me a dexterity saving throw. No, I'm sorry, I lied. Dexterity check. Go to the stat dexterity and then click the bonus next to it to roll a dexterity check.
I vote for Pickles again.
Can I give Pickles guidance?
Yep, you can.
Ooh.
Glorp be with you. May the Glorp be with you.
And also with you.
And also with you.
All right, you got a D4 to this dexterity check. Was that you, Pickles? 18?
Yep.
18 plus. Give me a D4.
Yes, sorry, D4. Huh! Woo!
Sorry, 19? 19's still pretty good there. So you guys are going down. Dickens, you turn yourself into those little pads that are in a pinball machine. So whenever you guys bump into the wall, it's ba-goom, 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 and you're just bouncing back and forth. Pickles, you're kind of you have your hand on Dickens, and you're kind of ratatouilleing his hair a little bit to use your dexterity to steer yourself down. Dickens, you're helping with the dumps, and you guys manage to just kind of bumble your way down. You smash through a couple little dirt walls that have caved in, and you bust out on the other side. It's the wildest ride that you guys have ever had as you go down these steep ravines down into the deep heart of the earth, and then finally you all look up and it's whoa! You're all just kind of smashed into the bottom area. There's no there's a little hill of dirt. You all kind of fly out towards thanks to the dexterity of Pickles on Weed, you kind of tweak the hair of Dickens just before you guys hit this bump, and you guys all safely roll on the ground. You are at the bottom.
Okay, so that was super loud, I guess.
Extremely loud. So yes, after you hear the breaking crash of this rudimentary minecart smashing on the ground, you look over and Dickens is like to everybody. But again, you're kind of going off of the 6th stealth roll of Gary Greenheart right now, so that factors into all this as well.
Can we just leave Gary right here?
Do I hear anybody coming?
So down this, you are now, all of you, not having been down this deep into the burrow, you start feeling that warmth of the earth itself. Remember when Tina gifted her body, it was like, it filled the world with this nurturing water, and then this heat in the earth that kind of creates this perfect setting to create all the foodstuffs of the world. Sativan has all this glorious bounty thanks to that gift, and you're starting to feel that the warm earth, the warmth of the earth underneath the ground itself. And there's this kind of just like rickety tunnel system, against not fully collapsed, but parts of the wall have just spilled in. There's little piles of dirt all over the place. That's kind of why you guys crashed when you got to the bottom. You do notice, like undistinctively, there are 2 badgers just peeking at you from around this nearby corner. Digby, that's exactly in the direction of where you buried the Godseed, is where they're kind of peeking out at you from. And again, as soon as they see you notice them, they run back down the hallway. There's kind of like a strange, like a brown cloud of dust in the air, just from like the recent collapses and everything. But it does right now seem still. No tendrils. The whatever caused this seems to be not doing it anymore.
Those fucking badgers just was spying on us and farted and then ran away.
You're laughing.
The sneaky little fucks.
Is there any way I can hide, and sneak? Hide and sneak?
So stealth is basically, like, that's the role that you guys made. I've just kind of applied over this since we went through the minecart thing. Now, at this point, if you guys want to, like, change your tactics from here, now where you're at now, you're not too far away from this other room where these badgers have retreated to, and so it's like you kind of you hear the faint sound of like from down the hallway.
I mean, actually, there's no use in hiding. If anything, they already saw how many of us were there and reported that. I was trying to be like a sneaky sneak, and then they were like, there's only a couple of them. It's like, nah, there's few.
That could mean several.
Several.
You know what they say about badgers? If you've got 2 of them, you're lousy with them.
Dude's
Lousy badgers.
So I guess let this just carry forth then, But give time to the crowds because
if they know that we're coming, we should prepare.
Well, then these people. What is the best way to prepare for encountering some farty badgers?
Well, has anyone ever been bullied or had the shit kicked out of them, or maybe had a really bad day and wanted to cry about it to someone, but then you didn't have any friends? That is what a badger is like. Dealing with every day of your life. They suck. They're probably I can guarantee you, especially if they can't speak, they probably have bad intentions.
Well, they
badgers
probably
are just
have bad
bad.
intentions with the egg. We can't let them get to it.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. We can't just run in there and be like, oh, hey, we're good, and be like, well, we're bad, so fuck off.
Then are you going to offer a solution to the problem, or just tell me about the problem?
Thing that's
I've
stuck
never been
out.
in a fight before. I thought maybe someone who'd been in a fight could help. I just wanted to be cautious this time.
No one
Usually
picks.
I'm not wise.
I got something I could try. So we saw which way they went, right?
Yep.
I think I understand the mechanic of this spell correctly, but tell me if I'm wrong. So when I look at sleep, it doesn't have to be, it's creatures within 20 feet of a point that I choose within range. The range is 90 feet. And it doesn't say anything about having to be able to see them. So I kind of saw where the badgers went. Can I extrapolate that as best as I can and try to throw sleep there and
Let
make
me
all the badgers
check.
go to sleep?
Because a lot of spells do require line of sight, but I'll check them just to make sure. Because sleep is super good, especially in this condition. So you roll 5d8 within a point of you choose. So a point, you would have to see the point, but you could peek around the corner if you want to try that. And then from the creature with the lowest current hit points. Dude, that's so good. Yeah, so it's an enchantment of a point you choose within range. Yeah, it's okay. Yes, it doesn't say that you can see. So you could choose a point. The problem is you don't yet know how thick the wall is near you.
Okay.
So it would
And that is
looking.
an issue.
Yeah, looking around, like just looking and casting the spell, that's possible. You could just say, "Hey, I want to cast this spell 10 feet that way," and you could go with that. But there would be kind of like a.
Well, can I just follow them as best as I can, kind of
totally.
see what corridor or room they went into?
Here, let's do this. I'm going to bring you into what you see. You guys, is everybody cool with that? Did you guys want to do anything before you kind of start going up the cavern? Okay, cool. So, this is what you see. Oh, man. I've been waiting for this for a while.
Shit.
Oh, man. So as you guys enter this tunnel, this is the best way that I can describe it to you. You see a badger, mushroom. I did it. As you guys come into this strange, cavern here deep in the earth, the strange dust floating around from all these cave ends. You see on the far side of the room, the Godseed is settled down and is set now in this kind of nest of its own. It stopped with the white tendrils that were shooting out of it have calmed, and it's seemingly sitting there kind of glowing in response to Tank Badgerly. He stands just about 2 inches taller than Digby. No matter how tall Digby gets, he's always about 2 inches taller than that. So however tall you are, Digby, if you're I think you're 4'6", he's 4'8", and he always lets you know that he's 2 inches taller than you. But he's standing there, and you see him, the Badgerborn. His I gotta bring him up because this is again from is it shifting? There it is. Tank Badgerly, his boots of butt kicking, his spiked green boots on his feet. You see he's got a sling around his side, a snake, a green, it's a snake, hanging out of the bag on his side. You see a couple more mushrooms in his bag. He's got this little tan vest, and again, because he's so badass, he has not one, but 2 eye patches over his left eye. You see he turns around as he hears you guys coming into the room here. You go ahead and organize yourself in whatever you want here at the bottom right. This is you guys kind of coming into the cave. But you see a little army of badgers kind of all posed up in front of him. Now, I will tell you guys, because this is part of how this mechanic works, these are minions. So part of minions is being fair to your players and letting them know that they're minions. These have different rules. They typically have 1 hit point. And so you tell your players so that they don't waste high resources on something that's from a mechanic. This harkens back to 4E, but in the new MCD and Monster book, they've reintroduced minions, and I've always liked the concept. And so that is what each of these badgers has 1 hit point. They are not the menacing battlefield. Now these 2 myconids, these 2 mushrooms that are standing near him, 1 purple, 1 green, and then Tank Badgerly himself, obviously, are traditional creatures. So that is what you see. You hear the of Tank Badgerly as he turns around and he's like, well, what's up, suckers? And all the badgers start, their little shoulders all shake, and the 2 mushrooms just stand there. They're standing about 3 feet tall, and they just have these really intense eyes that look at you, and they don't laugh. But there you see it, Tank Badgerly, this small assortment of goons standing before you. What do you do?
Still just a bully, Tank?
Oh, Amaryllis, I would be so good to you. But you're too busy hanging out with this loser. What's up, Digby? A day late and $1 short yet again. You see all the badger's shoulders shake and laugh. The myconids do not.
I think.
I look over at Digby and I look over at this guy and I'm like, what?
What?
This guy sucks.
I know, right?
You suck, loser. I'm Tank freaking Badgerly, man. You suck.
Okay. Sleep.
All right, dude. That's initiative. That would start this. Sorry, I love it. Man, sleep in this circumstance too is very good. All right, the turn order is up. Remember to select your token and hit initiative. Boom. Digby, Dickens, you're gonna go first, just because you're instigating the battle.
I just went ahead and hit the spell button.
Perfect. And you see, he's like, "Hey, you suck! Wait, where are you? Wait, yeah!" And you start casting your spell. Sort. Oops, sorry. Boom. All right, so Pickles with a 19. I'm sorry, I have to roll there. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. So how many? Go and read the spell sleep for me, because that might factor into how we build out where you cast the spell at.
Yeah, sure. This spell sends creatures into a magical slumber. Roll 5d8. The total is how many hit points of creatures the spell can affect. Creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose within range are affected in ascending order of their current hit points, ignoring unconscious creatures. Starting with the creature that has the lowest current hit points, each creature affected by this spell falls unconscious until the spell ends. The sleeper takes damage, or someone uses an action to shake or slap the sleeper awake. Subtract each creature's hit points from the total before moving on to the creature with the next lowest hit points.
Okay. So yeah, this thing is like a badger, like a minion beast. Like you can put so many minions to sleep. And it's 20 feet from the point. So it's like, I think where we're at here, where do you want to drop that bad boy at? This is, each square is 5 feet. This is actually to scale. The little ledge that they're standing on there, it's 5 feet. This little area here is difficult terrain, so it takes 2 squares of movement to go up it. But as far as your spell distance is concerned, it doesn't really factor in. But yeah, it's a little harder to get up.
The range is 90.
Yeah, so you can drop that wherever you want, pretty much.
I want to hit him right in the face with it.
So if you hit, just remember, it starts with the lowest hit point guys first. So it'll, wherever you cast it from within 20 feet, it'll start putting badgers to sleep first. And then once all those are resolved, as many hit points as you have left to do, it'll start affecting other people.
So here's my flavoring for the spell sleep. I want to just cast it on his mouth, so what he's saying is so boring, it starts putting his own people to sleep.
I fucking love it. He's like, what's the matter? You guys are just losers, man. And then it's just like all lists. It's just like,
I want the badgers to be like, why are we with this guy?
And they get tired, though. Yeah. What is this? All right, so if you slap it right on Tank, 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15. You can pretty much, all these badgers are in range. So roll me, did it roll 5d8 when you hit it? It did. 28, nice, 28 hit points worth of people to be put to sleep. So, Dickens, the first 12 of those are the badgers. You put all 12 badgers to sleep, which leaves you with 16 hit points left. The next 2 lowest creatures in the... okay, this is actually how this would work. You see the snake that's in the bag in his side falls asleep. And it just... take your lame. And it sleeps. So yes, that is like a thing. That's one of his abilities. And so we'll factor that in. But that's going to eat 15 hit points, which leaves you with just 1 left. So you put most of the squad asleep. You got all the badgers. And now whatever the snake thing is, if he decided to, it's a snake he would have to wake it, just like the conditions of the spell. So he would have to spend an action to wake this thing up. So Pretty cool. But yes, you see as this with this hey, stop that! Stop it! And he spits the last of the sleep magic out. And he's back into his own wits again. But yes, so Dickens, you put all these dudes to sleep. That's your action. You got anything else?
Yeah, well, it'll only last for a minute, right?
That is 10 rounds of combat.
So everybody be aware. That's my action. I'm still getting used to my bonus actions that I can do.
Yeah, and since you casted a leveled spell, so you can the only other spell you can cast. You would have, if you casted the bonus action spell, you wouldn't have been able to cast sleep. So you can use bonus action abilities like class features if you want, but the spells itself, you cannot.
No, can I just use the rest of my turn to like point at the badger and reach into my pants and pull out my hammer?
Yes. Absolutely. You still have your move if you wanted to get any closer, or do you want to stay where you're at?
Yeah, I just want to yell, I'm going left, and then go right as far as I can.
He's ragging on your cord, dude. Sorry, Simpsons. All right, so yeah, you have, I believe you're 30 feet of movement.
Can I get to there?
5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Yep. Yeah, you run up and you just see all these sleeping badgers, like, what'll do there? And they all put their heads to sleep. Man, that's a debilitating spell for a large group of minions.
Hey, which mushroom did we put to sleep?
None of the mushrooms went to sleep. Just the snake in the side of Tank's pouch, and then all 12 badgers.
All right, so I look back at Gary, and I'm like, the purple one's mine, Gary. Don't even think about it.
You see, if that's the end of your turn, you see that kind of. Again, they just have these stern looks on their face. They turn and look at you. You see you said the green one, Dickens?
The purple one.
The purple one squares off with you. You see, it's not, his mushroom head doesn't turn, but his body does under it. And he locks eyes with you. And his stern face that's kind of carved into his mushroom body
I'm gonna beat
at you.
this purple mushroom man like he owes me money.
Pickles, you're up next. What do you do?
I want to get as close to Badgerly as possible. So I was counting. How do you want to do, like, diagonals? You a diagonal boy?
I do diagonals 5. That's 5e. It works that way. That used to be a thing in 3.5. It was 7.5 feet. They got rid of that. Each square is 5 feet.
Gotcha. And then these guys over me are like twosies.
Yeah, yes. Just the one square. Any given, it's like if you go up, don't worry about both of these being difficult terrain. It's just one of them that it takes 2 squares of movement to get up. The badgers can't attack of opportunity you because they are asleep. However, the myconids can.
Gotcha. So I can get to like right behind them in front of Tank, right? No, because yeah. I think that's about where I was getting to.
And since you entered but didn't leave their threat range, no attack of opportunity.
Yeah, baby. I just want to get right up here, and I want to just do little, like it's just me telling him to like get the fuck out of here. So I'm doing a little bop bop, and of course
a little cat bat.
Little bop bop, little pow. That 14. And another pow.
All right, so your first strike, you see he's a bit of he's a bit of a thug. He's been around a couple knuckle dusters, and your first strike, he's like, please, and he slaps it away. Not ready for the second strike, which absolutely hits with the 23 AC.
Cool, but I'm not like, gonna be done because I'm gonna fucking go ham.
Dope.
I'm just like, I just don't. Ah, fuck. Wait, nope, that doesn't work.
Yeah, if you had advantage.
Yeah.
So dope. Yeah. So 18 AC does hit. So go ahead and give me the damage on the pause. You don't get the +2 because that's from the crit.
Yeah, just 7. That's fine.
You definitely ring his bell. You kind of move with such that finesse. Again, when you choose to not have the symbols move, they don't. So when you want to be and quick, you can. But they make noise if you want them to. You always have control over that. But you kind of cut through all these. You see the mic and it's turn, and the green one looks at you. And as you pass by, you see his face just rotates on his stalk with his arms and looks at you. But again, you didn't leave his threat range, so he doesn't attack. Then you just run up, back, and slap Tang in the face. What the heck, Luther? How dare you? I'm gonna give you these boots of butt-kicking nerd. This is my egg. And he points back at the egg. He wants it.
Okay. Fuck, and I spent everything up to him, so I can't really back off.
Yeah, you are kind of like squared up in the middle of this.
Yeah, because I can't I already used all my movement.
Yeah, for your little bounce back strike ability. Yeah.
Or mobile or anything like that. Okay, cool. Well, this is me, c'est moi.
You're just kind of looking around. Again, the purple one is kind of looking at Dickens still. So currently, the two creatures looking at you are are Tank Badgerly and the green Myconid.
Excellent. Well, I'm good here. Next.
All right, so you see the Myconids. It's their turn. One of them, he's gonna jump. He's just taking your offer there, Dickens, and just you see his face doesn't really move much, and he just steps forward.
Yeah, come at me, Michael.
And he comes up, and he's gonna take a swing. You see his big, thick little mushroom fists. Mushroom. He punches at you. 13 AC.
That hits.
A 13 AC hits?
Mm-hmm.
Man, got you, man. All right, boom. And does it do it for me too? Do I just need to click on it? No.
Yeah, my AC is a 13. Yeah.
Got it. You gotta get your shield. Oh, that's right, no, because you use two-handed. That's the thing. So boom and boom. So you take 5 bludgeoning damage. It punches with a pretty stern punch, and also 5 poison damage.
Okay, do I take half damage on the bludgeoning?
You do, yeah. So it would be 3 is the way it works. It factors in their favor, not rather than yours. So you take 3. You take 8 total. 3 of it bludgeoning, 5 of it poison damage.
Cool.
And then roll. Okay, and then
and I'd like him to hit me in the face, and then just.
Yeah, you see he comes up again, stern face, no real talk, but you see it's like there's little veins in his mushroom head that are lighting up, and you're just like its brain is active. It does appear to be communicating, but it doesn't seem to be using its mouth to do so. So it you don't really know what that means, but there is some activity going on in his little mushroom head. So Pickles, you see the other one looks down at you, and it also just kind of takes a swing at you. It's not really, it doesn't get advantage. So 12 AC.
16, baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
You see it punches you, and you just kind of knock it away. And then you also notice the strange, each of their heads are lighting up as in response to one another. And then both of them at the same time, you see these spores start kind of churning on their heads. Now that's the end of their turn this turn, but that does seem to be relating to something that may happen in the future. Digby, it's your turn. You see these strange mushroom people with these spores building up in their head. One showing off with Dickens, one showing off with Pickles. Tank Badgerly, your lifetime bully, the guy that stole. You should be the celebrity in Sativan right now. That was your invention. But basically your high school bully, the guy that's just kind of giving you a hard time your whole life, standing there being a total dick to Pickles. What do you do?
Well, I have a couple of questions with my new abilities. So with I'm so sorry, I had it pulled up a second ago. With the Eldritch Cannon, is that something that I would have had to have prepped and made before?
No.
Or I can just make it at will?
Yeah, because it's a class ability. It would be similar to the way that you just kind of use your class stuff. I think it's a bonus action to or is it an action to make it?
God. Takes an action.
Okay, cool. So yeah, and then you attack with it as a bonus action, I think, after that.
Now, would I need to attack with it? Or the secondary question that I had was, is Arco in this? And could I just let Arco hold the Eldritch Cannon and then he could just kind of use that to be his thing? And then
so the way it would work,
I'll use this one turn to make him a playable, fightable character.
So he can move around, but the Eldritch Cannon...
Next round, I'll jump in.
Yeah, so the Eldritch Cannon functions off of you mechanically. So it can attach to him. You can have it move around the room and let Arco be the legs for it. Arco would still be able to do his stuff, but you would be the one giving it the command to attack. So you use your bonus action to cause the cannon to activate if you're within 60 feet of it. And then when you activate it, you can direct the cannon to walk or climb 15 feet if you want. It basically using Arco as its legs. And then you would choose when you make it, if it's the flamethrower, the force ballista, or the protector. And then so each of your turns, you would spend a bonus action, including this one, you can do this, to make it attack.
Okay. So then I will do that.
So you're going to make a ranged spell attack.
Yes. How?
I think I'm used to D&D Beyond, so let me just look at the Roll21 real quick. I'm going to jump into your sheet.
Do I just go to spells?
Yeah, it should be spells, and then at the top there should be spell attack or ranged spell attack thing there. Let's see. Character sheet, spells. Okay, again, we didn't build in we didn't put Artificer in. So your spell attack bonus is going to be, let's do this to be fair, I've already got Artificer pulled up anyway.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm not sorry. I'm just having the best time.
You had a birthday this week. It's fine.
I'm still recovering. I apologize.
So yeah, here you go. Your spell attack modifier is your proficiency bonus plus your intelligence modifier.
So I'm on the wrong page again. Oh god, load up.
Proficiency bonus, I believe, is 2. I think everybody has 2, or is it 3? Everybody has it. What is it, 3 or 2, guys?
2 is my proficiency bonus. My intelligence modifier is 3.
So you got plus 5 to a d20 roll.
And I just roll a regular ass d20.
Yep, and then we'll add 5 to it.
Fuck off.
So 7 AC. You see the legs of the... Which one did you make? You made the force cannon?
No, I figured they were mushrooms, so they were probably more susceptible to fire.
Yeah, so the flamethrower shoots like a cone of fire. It can only move 15 feet. It wouldn't be able to reach anybody.
Oh, well then... Yeah, I guess force this time.
So you see, Arco's body just kind of
wait, can I use it to heal Dickens?
Yeah, it creates temporary hit points. So you could turn it into that one, and then you would move Arco over, but it's a aura radius around it.
Oh, see, sorry.
But it can only be one of them. And so it's a brand new ability, but it can only be one of those 3.
For the whole time, or each round?
Each time you use it. Every time you summon it, it's one thing. It doesn't switch.
Right, so next round, it'll still be the same thing.
It'll still be the force cannon if that's the one you did, yeah.
Well, then let's do that then.
So you see it shoots this big ball of energy, and unfortunately with a 7 AC, does not hit. But it is now on Arco, so it's like he's got this little predator cannon of his own,
Nice.
and he's the legs for it, so he can move it around.
Oh man, dope.
So Arco does go. Did anybody get hit? Dickens got hit. Arco is going to throw a healing word your way because he does have some healing ability. And nice! He rolled a 4. Dickens, you get 5 HP back.
I was gonna say, was I able to move also?
Yeah.
During that? Okay, because I just want to move oh shit! Come on, Drew. I just want to move a little bit closer if I could. Not super close, but
nice shot, sucker! You hear Tank mocking you as your attack misses. And you think, but yeah, you move forward. You see all these sleeping badgers all laying at the feet. The battle going on between Pickles and Tank, and the Myconids battling Dickens and Pickles. And you step forward. into the cavern. You know, you've got eyes on everything. No other motion. You don't see anything else around you, but you're a little bit closer into the fray now. Anything else? No?
Nope, I'm good. Sorry,
No.
passing the torch.
All right, suckers, it's Tank's turn. So Tank is, it's good enough that he's going to do it. He's going to use his action to stimulate his snake. And he reaches down and he starts stroking that snake. Oh, he's stroking that snake so good. Oh, man. And it wakes it right up. He uses his action to shake the snake all the way awake. And he slaps it around. And you see the snake comes awake. And, man, this thing just never stops. So he has the ability to use it. Unfortunately, it's an action to use it. So good use of sleep to stop him from being able to use one of his abilities. But you see he's like, well, Dickens, thanks again, sucker. Always good sneaking away on you. And then he pulls out an even worse pistol. Like it's like he tried his best to put it together, and it's pretty ratty, Digby. You're just looking at it; it's so bad. But you can tell he like tried to remake what you made. But he's like sitting there and he points it over at you. It does have some pretty crazy things if he rolls poorly, so we'll see what happens. And boom, he takes. I clicked the wrong thing. He takes 2 shots with his crappy pistol. All right, so Digby, you take 15 AC. Does that hit you?
Nope.
All right, sweet. You know, he's like, sucker, and he shoots at you. Just like, you're like, oh, that gun, it's going to lift up. So you just kind of shoot and let the range of it's like your knowledge of guns. He just shoots over your head. You feel the tickly top hairs of your head tickled a little bit as the bullet goes by. Doesn't manage to hit Amaryllis or Gary either. Just kind of digs off the dirt in the ground. And then his other shot is, actually, I'm sorry, he's at disadvantage on these because Pickles is in range. So he's got to make 2 more attacks. So the 15 was his disadvantage, and that was a miss because he rolled a 20 on the other one. So he gets another, this is also a disadvantage, so the lower of these 2. He rolled a 9. Plus 6, so 15 AC on Dickens. You said 13, so that's a hit. Dickens, you see he's not one to play around with you here. Ooh, boom! You feel the shot of a bullet projected by gunpowder. You see the frame of the pistol itself kind of shakes because it's so rudimentally put together. It blasts you for 9 damage. Boom! He rolled hot. You feel the hot ball inside of you. You're kind of cartoony, so it like boop, pops out like in the mask, and falls to the ground. But you do take 9 piercing damage.
Cool.
And then all the badgers go, but they're asleep. They don't get a save, do they?
Happy birthday.
Don't do it. Drew. Happy birthday to Drew. Happy Drew Day.
I don't think
dear birth, Drew. Drooby-dooby, Debbie. Happy birthday.
Come on, guys.
I think they have to take damage, get slapped awake, or the spell has to end.
Oh man, that is so sweet. So just 9 more rounds of them being asleep, as long as you guys don't hit them or nobody starts spinning their turns, waking them up. We got some sleepy badgers. But yeah, that's the end of their turn. Amaryllis VonCheux. You see Digby stands up in front of you, and the bullet from Tank shooting at him just nearly misses him. But you stand at the back of the fray. You kind of see everything breaking out in front of you. What do you do?
I'm marveled by the heroic impulse of Digby. Oh, my hero! All of that, And then I also recognize these mushrooms as extremely troublesome, and I'd like to cast Chaos Bolt. But while I'm doing it, I feel overcome by this new meta magic inside of me, and I'd like to twin it on both of them.
Ooh, twinning. Okay, so I'm gonna because Chaos Bolt has its own thing that's like tricky. So hold on, let me catch up with you here. So boom. All right. And magic. So twin spell. When you cast a spell that targets only one creature and doesn't have a range of self, you can spend a number of sorcery points equal to the spell's level. So in this case, Chaos Bolt is a level 1 spell, correct? So it'd be so you just use one of your sorcery points. You can to target a second creature in range with the same spell. So dope. So this first one here, Chaos Bolt. So what are you attacking first?
Like which mushroom?
Yes.
The purple one.
All right, so the one on Dickens, you step forward. The range is 120 feet, well within range, both of these creatures. Go ahead and roll, click on Chaos Bolt itself to roll damage, because the first one did hit.
Like the...
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Here,
sorry, in chat.
In chat, yeah. And then it'll ask you at what level you cast it, and just go with level 1.
Go? Okay.
Boom. All right, so it does 2d8 damage plus 1d6 damage. So the 2d8 it rolled a 1 and a 5, so it didn't do any of the cool. You get to choose between acid damage or lightning damage on this first strike, plus 3 for the 6. So it's 9 total. But which do you want it to be? Acid.
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 No, they do not have resistance to acid. You would think maybe mushrooms might, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, dope. 9 damage to the first one. You see this searing bolt of energy that bounces off of them. Now remember, if you roll 2 of the same number on those 2d8s, then it jumps to another creature too. So still could happen. Go ahead and cast Chaos Bolt again. You did twin spell it, so you see these 2 orbs of magic. Just as you cast the spell, they split off. They mirror each other and shoot in different directions. Boom. 19 AC. That's a hit as well. Is that on the green Myconid?
Yes.
And then go ahead and click. That's a hit, so go ahead and roll the damage for it. Just click on the Chaos Bolt. Okay, sweet. 2d8. Okay, so that it had the 1 in there for a crit, but it didn't crit. So you rolled a 2 and a 6, so it can be cold damage or poison damage. Which type of damage do you want it to be?
Poison.
Poison. Just double checking one more time, just to be fair to my boy. Does he have poison?
Poison.
Bang!
Poison.
It's from
poison.
All right, that's why it's hard for me to find. Poison. No, it does not. Again, you would think maybe mushrooms would have resistance to poison. No, they don't. So it takes 8 damage from the bolt, as well as an additional 2. So 10 damage total to our second of the 10. And then the first one was 9. Boom. Perfect. Awesome. So yeah, you see all the damage is full. Both Myconids, you see like one of their eyes stays looking at their target and the other one just travels away, rotating around the body. So Pickles one's looking at you, Dickens one's looking at you, and then they rotate around. And now each of them have one eye on the other side of their body looking at you, Amaryllis. Like, oh, what the crap? But they're none too pleased.
Well, I don't like them either. I think just to finish up my turn, I'm going to move forward a little bit. Not
Sweet.
too far, but just about. I'll still stay next to Digby.
Nice. You guys kind of step into the room a little bit.
Yeah.
You see Tank a little upset that his gang is being, kind of handled around him right now. There's no point, but he has to like deal with you guys rather than send his goons at you. Gary, you see this coward kind of standing here, this guy that would rob the light of your friends and steal the happiness from this moment and this egg that Amaryllis is connected to. And you feel that guardianship of the light is now a green knight as the blood pumps through your veins. What do you do?
So this Tank Badgerly, he pissed me off from the second he opened his stupid badger mouth, especially hearing from Digby that this guy bullied him. So let me know if this is doable. Mobility is kind of an issue for me, so I want to I'm pretty fucking pissed. Just stomp my way back up the cavern and get the minecart that we landed on, because is there like a bit of a decline to that?
Yeah, everything kind of leads down.
If I could start it up at the top and hop in, because I want to roll my way as close to that cavern wall, and even if it hits, and I feel if I can pop out of that.
Okay, so what I like it. So I will say you would have to choose a point on this wall to run into. Like you don't really have like a brake system or a way to stop it. So if you go directly through, you might hit some badgers. Now, if you hit them and did any damage, you might just squish them and kill them.
You read my mind, buddy. You read my mind.
So,
Bowling for badgers.
but with that comes risk to your personal, your body as well. So there, we would treat it a bit like a falling damage. It would be a D6 based on the amount of momentum you get. But that same damage would, sure, why not, would be incurred to these badgers. So what point do you want to run this cart into? I'm going to say that's your bonus action too, to be fair.
I was gonna like throw all the action,
you can go
attack, and
full
movement.
action. Yeah.
Because it is something that's like a little kind of hard to put into the mechanics. So it's gonna be like, if it works, I'll throw it all out there. So let's go.
Yeah, the card will be broke, and you'll take some damage. You know what I mean? Like you'll get a dex save, which isn't your best save, but you will get a dex save to offset some of the damage. But there will be some damage in total to you, but also delivered to the badgers.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Well, let me see. Do I have a direction I'm coming from?
Good, yeah. So it would be
I'm
back
doing the Wii bowling. That.
Yeah, I know. I was saying, so you're back. You're the cavern you came from is kind of southeast of this, so it's kind of a straight line from there to you, to any of these. You're like kind of seeing if you've got a good angle. You think if with a good enough like dex save, if you kind of aim for this, if you roll real hot, you might be able to get 4 of them, but you can guarantee get these 3 right here, split right down the middle.
It's like go for the 7-10 split, or just go right for the center, huh?
Come to butthead.
Yo, like I know I told you that the purple guy was mine, but I don't want you to think I'm really gonna be mad at you. I'm getting my ass kicked.
Yeah.
I thought you took it to heart. I thought you were just leaving the green one to me. So, but yeah, you know what? You can't get the biscuit unless you risk it. Let's go for this crazy corner one. Maybe
Gary,
I'll get 4, but maybe
give
not.
me a dexterity saving throw.
Said dex save.
Yeah.
Gotta find the thing, gotta find the thing. There it is.
You're like, this seems so easy before. As you kind of go through, there's grapple and stuff, so the wheels don't go very fast. But you do find yourself, you blast into this wall here. You manage to take out 2 badgers because they take some damage. Unfortunately, you do not save, so you're going to take 5 bludgeoning damage. But it's nice because these 2 badgers kind of break your fall. They get kicked up in front of you and you kind of smash into the wall and you feel your shoulder just pop a badger like a grape against the wall.
No, it wasn't their
And
fault. They're just the toadies. But
no, Steve! What's the trap, dude? That's my boy Steve! Steve's dead. You don't know the other one's name, but he's not looking too great either. They both took 5 damage. Again, bad save. Unfortunately, you weren't able to curve that nice 7-10 split, hit the front pin, and you didn't get any good badger pin action. So, Gary, you have moved over to here. That, like we said, we've used your kind of action turn around. But you can, if you want to kind of like flop yourself up onto the ledge, you can.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. If you'll allow it, I'm here for it.
It's like part of the damage you take. You like fly out of the cart and just slam on the wall. And then you're like just kind of hanging here off this little cliff face. You see a couple badgers on the ground just peacefully asleep while their friends were smashed into the rocks.
Oh.
You got
a sleeping badger. That sounds cute.
Oh, little guy. You got anything else, Gary?
Nah, sir. I think that's me.
Digby, sorry. You see the smash of the cart, the flying Gary through the air. He lands on the top of the ledge. He's kind of like pulling himself, standing up. You see the Myconid in front of you now with one eye looking at Amaryllis. What do you do?
I wipe the blood off of my face from getting punched. And I look and I'm like, it seems we have chosen violence. And I want to just like pound this mushroom back into the dirt.
Nice. This one did. This one was hurt the most from the chaos bowl. You see the sizzling magic in its core as you strike down. Go and give me a hammer swing. 9 AC, unfortunately, does not hit. You see, as you go to swing at it, it just like steps to the side. Now, in this case, Digby or Dickens, you could use one of your bonus action spells because you didn't use your action to cast a leveled spell. So if you wanted to, after the hammer strike, you see it kind of dodges away, looks at you with a stern look, but you do still have your bonus action in your move.
I was really hoping that would just work.
Story of attacking in D&D, right?
Man, I'm just not rich with bonus action options.
That's true. A lot of your stuff is rituals and stuff like that too. So,
yeah.
All right, sweet. So, if you got anything else you want, if you move out of its threat range, it would get an attack of opportunity on you. But that doesn't mean you can't. It would just get a swing at you on your way out.
I'll cast Healing Word on myself.
Nice. Ooh, that's why it's so good. Bonus action spell, 6 healing. Very nice. You boop yourself up with a Healing Word. And then if that's the end of your turn, Pickles on Wee, you are up. You see, Dickens kind of healing himself from this damage that he's incurred from the gunshot.
I'm sorry. Before we move on, can I just take one of those potions instead of using a spell?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's and again, that's our homebrew rule. You can use a potion on yourself as a bonus action.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's why I didn't think about it. I forgot that we could do that, right?
Yeah, and it's 2d4 plus 2.
Okay, so
now you also, just to remind you, you have some magical healing weed. You have that Northern Lights, the White Widow. You have the White Widow.
Yeah.
Which, if you use it in conjunction with a spell or potion, would allow you to re-roll any number of those dice one time.
I'm just gonna go with the potion for now and save the stash.
Sweet. 2d4 plus 2. Hey, there you go. You got 7 instead of 6. Nice. You slam one of the potions that you got from the treasure box in Serenade's room.
Tight.
Smart, so smart.
All right, Pickles, you see your friend just drinks down slams a healing potion and kind of braces for combat after swinging his hammer at this Myconid. They've got some fight, tanks on one side of you, you've got the green Myconid on the other. What do you do?
I'm gonna hit Tank in his little stupid face. Damn it. I'm gonna try again.
Nice try, sucker. He mercilessly mocks you in this situation.
Well, I don't like that.
You see, again, it's like he's a bully. You're trying like some finessey moves. And he's just like, screw you, sucker, and just keeps pushing you. And you go to swing, and he's like, back up, the stupid teddy bear. Where are you, stupid teddy bear? And he starts pushing you, little jerk.
You're the jerk.
No, you're the jerk, Luther. Pushes you again.
You are.
Jerk.
No, you...
Are these your friends, Digby? Figures they'd be such suckers.
My best friends. You shut your... I'm sorry.
You don't have any friends,
yes, they
Luther.
are.
At least he has friends, you two eye patch wearing little bitch.
Look around you, teddy bear. I've got at least 12 friends. Nice to
They're
try.
all asleep. Shut up.
You're asleep.
Make that 10 friends, asshole.
I'm not
Steve! It burns him one more time. Oh, no! You still have a little bit of him on you, like, you got some Steve on your shoulder, pal. All right. Pickles, yeah, unfortunately, your first 2 strikes with paws, they do not hit as he bullies you.
It's very rude. I don't like that.
Such a jerk.
What is rude? Okay, well, let's see. I leveled up, so I have 3. So I'm just gonna give it another go. I'm gonna try one more hit, one more smackaroonie.
Getting that flurry.
I'm just gonna be like, boy.
Nice. She's like, suck it. No. It's like some swing comes in. 8 damage. Nice. You're ringing his bell. Boom.
I just want to hit him. I want to break his little nose.
Yeah, he shot me.
Yeah, like with a gun. Take back.
I want to break his nose.
You see, punch him right in the nose. He's like, what's this? I hate you, man. Oh, you are going to be so screwed. You got anything else, Pickles?
I respond, "When?" And then I hop away.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll do that now. Because you punched him, you can disengage and move. Well, you're like your whole move, right?
Yeah.
Where do you want to go?
I'm gonna jump on top of this egg.
All right, you feel the warm glow of the egg underneath your feet. It kind of starts vibrating a little bit. Again, it seems strangely dormant compared to the states that you've seen it before, but there is still this warmth and energy coming from within it. You feel it kind of heating up your bottom, the paws of your feet. You look at the myconids now. They both puff these giant spores. One creature. Dickens, make a DC 11 Constitution save. Gary, make a DC 11 Constitution save. Dickens, you pass. Gary, you pass. Very nice. You see these spores pop all over you, and you're like, you wash them away. You feel as like you get the big ones that might stick into your throat and cause you some illness. You pass them off. Both of your constitution's too strong to be so affected by these spores, but they did use their attack to do so. They are going to stay on their targets. You see this one myconid, Gary, moves up and kind of squares up with you, the green one, and then and Dickens, the one on you, still seems squarely focused on you, except for the one eye, which looks at the deliverer of the chaos bolt. Digby, you see these myconids trying to take out your friends with spores. What do you do?
Well, I am not a big fan of mushrooms taking out my friends, so I want to get smoked. All of you get smoked. Get off my friends. I'm just firing off.
Pop.
Everything.
Digby, you're so mad. You reach forward, you pull your gun.
Digby's dead? I'm about to throw my laptop across the fucking room right now.
Happy birthday to the ground.
Happy birthday to the ground.
Kidding me?
You pull it out.
Oh my god, it is taking everything in my fucking willpower not to kick this desk across the room.
Oh
my god.
Let's smoke to help appease that. Shit crit!
Whoa! Shit crit.
Oh man.
I don't even know if I can smoke, I'm so angry.
No, you can, it helps. That's actually one of the best parts.
Oh god.
So your Thruger explodes. You see it in your hand, and again, it's like as you're looking at it, you're like, oh, I knew a better design for this. And then it blows up in your hand. You squeeze the trigger guard too tight. It pops the pin in the side. Some black powder rolls into the can, spits back at you, and blows the shell of the handle apart. And it literally turns to dust in your hand. Your action is unfortunately the destruction of the Schruger. The parts are still, salvageable. You'll still have a chance to rebuild it. But for right now, you've got some magic stones that you can throw. But the gun itself, the Schruger, is no more. You hear. As Tank Badgerly mercilessly taunts you.
I check to make sure I'm not using the wand. I'm like, no.
Yeah, this is his own smile. He's that happy by his own merit. Digby, you got anything else? You got a bonus action. You could. You got a turret popped out.
I do. Now is Roly Poly and my turret two separate things?
So controlling them requires a bonus action, so you kind of have to choose which one in this moment.
So either one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't bring Roly Poly. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's fine.
I'm sorry. Oh no, I have him on the loaded page. You got anything else? Oh yeah, no, you have your bonus action. You got to choose which one you want to.
Well, I was gonna say, so Arco has my cannon right now, right?
Correct. And he goes in patch with your turn. So if you want him to move first, he can. But he has
Well,
range. He can
same.
hit anything from where he's at.
He can reach the purple mushroom though with that shot from
Yep.
where he's at
Correct.
currently. Correct.
Yep.
Okay. So, what do I roll for that? I'm so sorry. I had
It's a
pulled
ranged
up.
spell attack. A D20 plus 5.
Oh, fantastic. Oh shit. Nope. How
It does
about
2d8?
How about you just hit the fucking button, Drew?
Boom, plus 5, 16 AC. That does hit the Formian. Or I'm sorry, not Formian, the Myconid. So it's 2d8
That's
damage.
Myconid.
2d8 damage. Good thing you had a second shot. You hear he mercilessly laughs at you as you shoot his mushroom friend. 6 damage, sucker. Not enough. Better luck next time. But he is in really bad shape. The purple Myconid that's battling Dickens is really low. He's bleeding mushroom blood. If you haven't tried mushroom blood, let me tell you.
Good.
You got anything else, Digby?
No, I just will cower in shame like I always do in front of Tank Badgerly.
Oh, such
Thank you.
such a sweet, delicious victory. You see, it is Tank's turn. Well, it's all the Badgers' turns. Let me tick one more. Oh, just 8 more rounds. All the Badgers are still asleep, even though Steve and the unnamed fallen brother of theirs was smashed into the rocks. But it is Tank's turn, and you see he whoosh, reaches down to his side, and he pulls the snake out of his hand, and it's a snake. You see drop from the ceiling, landing behind both Digby and Amaryllis, is this giant constrictor snake. You see the snake that's in his hand dissolves and falls away like green powder, but this giant 15-foot-long constrictor snake falls into the room. And you hear it hissing behind you. Good luck, losers. It's snake time. And that's where we're going to pick it up next time, guys.
Oh my gosh.
After my birthday?
Oh, man.
How dare you?
Big shout out to Sean Gilchrist for drawing Tank Badgerly's sweet, sexy bod. Badger, mushroom. Oh, it's a snake. Oh my god. Sorry. I'll send you the link, Abby. Yes. These are things that tickle me pink. So, holy crap, guys! What a freaking game! That was a treat. Obviously, this battle far from over as these two groups battle over the fate of the mysterious Godseed. But so far, fuck, you guys are doing a pretty good job, if I might say so myself. But heck, guys, we will be back next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Pacific. That's when we get our jam on. And we will continue this terrific battle. I would once more like to say happy birthday to Papa Sketty, my man, Thorcus Onyx Heart, Digby Moleeggington III, Drew, Yana, fucking Lawrence. Happy birthday, bro.
Yeah.
We fucking love you.
Yeah,
Also, I
guys.
believe you have a new piece, correct?
Yes. My sisters. Yes, I have sisters. My sister and sister-in-law just got back from their honeymoon and in Cancun, and they got me this new piece made of fish bone, not whale bone, but carved, and it has a nice little jewel at the end of it. So I am gonna drop a pic of this in the Discord, and Buds, help me name it.
Name it up.
From a birth miss.
We have many named pieces now from the Bud community. You guys are great at coming up with names. This is actually a nice little point. If you don't know about our Discord, come hang out over there. That's probably where we'll drop it. I'll put it on the Twitter and stuff as well. But Discord's fun because we all kind of pop in whenever we can. That's probably like the main place that we all find ourselves at any given time. So yeah, if you're not in the Discord, come on down. If you are, thanks for being there. It's always a blast to fucking hang with you guys when we get the chance. But thank you guys so much. I always need this. Like whenever I start, it's always like, oh, here we go. And then by the end, I'm just like, this is the greatest. I love playing D&D with my friends and the Buds and just everything about this little piece of magic, man. Thank you guys so much for all you do. Happy birthday to all you Drew. and and just fucking be awesome, guys. Have a great week. Take care of yourself. We do have us a little ritual we like to do around here. Maybe you heard about it. Maybe you haven't. We like to take a lighter, like this Pisces one. It made it. It made it through the whole show, and I still have it. Make sure you're not going to light any of your friends, family, or household pets on fire, and go. Light us up. To drooby dooby dooby doo 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 doo. Fucking love you, buds. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
So what? You can't touch me, 'cause I'm from the internet.